Oh, ho, ho, ho. Oh, camera's not on. I knew I was going to forget something today, and it was the camera being on. There we go. There it is. We're back. We're good. Everything's fine. Everything's fine, okay? I only have, like, 100 things to deal with. It's fine. At this time of day, the Ritalin has worn off. Good grief. Oh, goodness gracious. Look at how many people are in here. Hello. What's up, Jade? Quantum Cactus, Timerinia. There's a mama. I wish I was a bug. What a simple life. Eat leaf, skitter, sleep. Die young before the crushing weight of existence sets in. Sit on a log. True. That is exactly the perfect way to go. Tagline for today's stream has me intrigued. Yeah, it's a true story about a teenager winning homecoming queen. That is the highbrow level of discourse and relevant news that we talk about on the Luxander stream. This intro is a metaphor for the fact that the right wing is bugging out over a trans homecoming queen. True. Yep. And then also hello to the YouTube chat. There's some folks hanging out over there. Are Republicans that bored? Well, it's libs of TikTok, so, you know, she's a literal terrorist. So, you know how it goes. But yeah, what's up, Phoebe? There's Marcella, Speedy Shimeji. Not heard of this anywhere else. I mean, truly, I'm bringing Twitter news to you. That's what's happening. Sometimes when we talk about silly nonsense like this, it is just straight up, like, Twitter news. If you've noticed, you know, the streams don't do as much of this kind of, like, conversation as they used to because I haven't been on Twitter as much. Costume sewing crunch time. Nice. I wish that my sewing machine was, like, correctly operational. And it works, but it's, like, not quite calibrated right. And I definitely did not, like, wind the bobbin at the correct tension. So, hypothetically, the more I use it, the more it's going to jack it up. So I'm just like, all right, well, maybe it's a good time to teach myself to hand sew. I don't know. I just got a lot happening. Twitter's garbage anyways. Anyway, Blue Sky is where it's at. Yeah, any of my social media time lately has been on Blue Sky. And, like, I guess Facebook. But I mostly just sort of passively consume info on Facebook. What? This is, like, on the wrong light setting. Oh, yeah, that's what it was. Okay, so let's do this, and then we'll bring it down a couple. There we go. Is the lighting? Yeah, that's closer to the right colors. Okay. We're figuring things out. I don't think that these are the right colors for today, but we'll leave them for the time being. Left book discourse. Yeah, it's like throwing feces at a wall. I love that one meme that's like they've got lobsters fighting against each other, and it's like leftist versus leftists, and then all of the people around them are also leftists, like betting on it. Facebook is a nightmare. Yeah, honestly, a lot of my Facebook feed nowadays is just a lot of reels and shorts and stuff, like especially on the phone. It's like, hey, do you want to watch a bunch of videos from channels and like pages that you do not follow? Like, no, not really. I guess that's what I'm gonna do though when I'm on this, like on the toilet. It's not as though I have like hundreds of Facebook friends whose posts I would like to see. So I'm sure there's some hidden setting where you can go in and tell it to do it chronologically or what have you. I hate the fact that I made a Facebook to connect with my family after moving to Seattle, and then I got sucked back into Leftbook after years of being blissfully gone from it. Where are you participating in Leftbook? Are there just like certain groups, like certain pages that you follow that do this? I don't know. Sorry, I'm late. I'm gay. I'll forgive you this time, uncomfortable. Facebook algorithm is pushing far-right content too. I guess it's not infrequent that I have to tell it not to show me something where like a comedian makes a transphobic joke or something. But I mean, it's fine. Facebook is fine. I see just enough of my real people posts to be like, okay, cool. I can see you people. Be gay, do crimes, be late for stream. That being late for stream is a crime. You did a redundancy there. TBH, I only scroll Facebook for cat videos. Facebook has figured out that I will consistently watch videos of animals being rescued. Trout Dealer, thank you so much for the tier 1 sub. Always use lube on your sewing machine. I finally got my invite code, but Blue Sky still feels really empty to me. You just gotta follow lots of people. I basically follow a shit ton of sex workers and leftists on Blue Sky. So I would say, you know, find some people. Like, I would say find some creators that you want to follow. Like, you can see people's followings publicly. So, I don't know. You could go to my profile on Blue Sky and go through all the people that I follow and see if there's any people in there who you would want to follow. And that's kind of like more or less what I did. And then once you have a certain kind of, like, these are the sort of people who I'm following, these are the posts that I'm... Is my handle Luxander? Yeah, it's like Luxander at bluesky.social. I haven't changed it. I need to set it up to be compatible with my website, because then it could just be at luxander.net. That would be pretty neat. No news on Facebook in Canada anymore. It's kind of nice. I deactivated yesterday, though, taking a break. I saw that Canada made a new law recently having to do with the manner in which news organizations are compensated for, like, views on their shit online or something. Like, I guess because people get a blurb on their Facebook that prevents them from clicking through to the article means that the news is not getting paid. And so it's like a noble intention, but the resultant, like, thing that they've done is just made it so that if you're in Canada, links to news sites are blocked on Facebook. I think the online harms bill comes into force today in the UK. What's this? I have not heard about this. The online harms bill, UK? Is this somehow, like, it's a new set of laws to protect children and adults online? Okay. So it's definitely going to harm trans people somehow. I'm just like, I know. I thought Blue Sky felt dead, so I followed a shitload of people, and now my feed is way too chaotic. I don't like that my following feed shows me everyone's replies to conversations with no context. Yeah, that does bother me. I don't want to see everybody's replies in the main feed. And I have unfollowed people. I was following Bill Bezos, and I unfollowed him because of just, like, oh my god, you're clogging up my feed, dude. Like, too much. Too many people. Girl, okay. Does anybody want to pitch me $150 so that I can buy the new webcam that Jimmy Snow recommended to me? Yeah, live podcasting. Yeah, let me just switch to a different screen that's a flat image and just talk the entire time. I guess that would be kind of a relief in some ways to not be on camera. But where's the fun in that, eh? Yeah, so sorry, the camera, it, like, thinks it's overheating or something, and that's why it, like, shuts itself off. Even though we've only been here for, like, 10 minutes, so, you know, whatever. I know what camera I'd like to get, and it's on my Amazon wishlist if anybody wants to get it for me before I finally do it in, like, a couple weeks. I'm just trying not to spend a shit ton of money all at once. You know how it goes? If you ever want to talk but not be seen, truly. Maybe if I ever do a gaming channel, it'll be one where I'm not on camera. That might be nice. It's a metaphor for the invisibling of trans people. We've been invisibilized. Yes, get snacks. Y'all, if you want to get a snack, now is the perfect time to do it, because we're still chilling, you know? And we're still gonna be chilling for another, like, I don't know, 40 minutes or so, something like that. I don't know. Until I decide that I want to talk about the news items for today. Because we have basically three things, essentially, that I'm interested in discussing. It's going to be a fairly low-key stream otherwise. Because, y'all, I am just busy. drink water. Here in a second, I'm gonna get my coffee because I brewed some coffee and I want more. Just ate, no snack time for me yet. Just had Taco Bell, I'm good. Yeah, right before stream started, I went ahead and put some chicken in some wet brine. Just straight up salt water, basically. And so planning to, after stream, I'm gonna, like, I guess just skillet fry up some chicken, like grilled chicken tendies kind of situation or something. I don't know. I don't even know what I'm gonna serve them with. Like, maybe mashed potatoes. Probably. I have chocolate filled with cookie dough. Chocolate filled with cookie dough? That's decadent. That's excessive. What's up, Michael Benson? Y'all in the YouTube chat are welcome to be here. I have been cutting down on my soda intake. My body misses the caffeine. I'm on decaf and it's so wonderful. Because I can just not drink coffee and not get, like, a subsequent major headache. I just did exercise, gonna get some barbecue for dinner because I want proteins. I had barbecue last night. It was so yummy. Apparently there's a new update to my video drivers. I'll do that later. So, what is today? It's Tuesday, and how did y'all's weekend go? It was a gorgeous weekend. Outside. I spent a lot of it outside, and it was quite nice. On Saturday, it was, like, a little bit rainy. And then on Sunday, it was a little bit less rainy. This week is supposed to be rainy, which makes me very excited, because I want rain in the autumn time. That is what makes me happy. Played Starfield all weekend. Hell yeah. By the way, we always do this little thing where we hang out at the beginning of stream. So you should hit the like button because I want this stream to be shown to even more people. And I want for more people to be here when we're just chilling and hanging out. Like, wouldn't it be wonderful if I could have, like, a fairly busy stream that is not politically driven? What if on a regular basis we could do, it could be sustainable for the channel to do streams that are more chill and not intensive politics all the time. I did core today, but I had to stop before doing arms because I'm way too tired. Girl was out till 1 a.m. last night. I have not been doing my working out stuff as much. Just kind of like have been doing a shit ton of cardio on the weekends. Rain is great, but the reign of the trans homecoming queens is better. We will have a takeover of all of the high schools in America. Trans homecoming kings and queens. Only trans people. Nice and salty with just the right amount of seaweed. Oh, miso soup. Oh, yeah, miso soup is yummy. I don't want to get on a whole food thing, because then I'm just going to make myself hungry. Getting a breast augmentation, thinking about getting 420cc. Isn't that like a giant, like huge boob difference? I don't actually know what's a standard boob size increase if you get silicone boobies. I have no idea. What's a normal one? And I know trans girls, like, they say for you guys it's best to do like the biggest you can, or like the biggest you're willing to do, because that's what gives you the best results. Saline boobies. Okay, yeah, fair enough. Saline, true. All my homies are queens. I'd be happy with like 200cc extra boobas. I was looking into it just the tiniest little bit. But I really honestly do not know very much about breast augmentation. I hear that it's a pretty easy surgery to recover from, though. I think I'm gonna pour my coffee real fast since we're still towards the top of stream. I do want people to keep hitting the like button and keep trickling in, and we will get to talking about the good stuff in a little while. I just want an extra cup or two in my bra, that's all. I think I've said it recently, but I found out that I have like a size 32F bra, which is crazy. I did not realize that that was where I was at in my life, but I saw a subreddit called 1000cc plus. Oh man, why? Like, it would be so heavy. I had my BA consult yesterday, hoping to get it done around Christmas. More surgery, ugh. Yeah, for sure. It's still annoying to have to get surgeries and stuff, but at least, you know, then you get to have big booba. Not cup sizes, cups. Wait, 420cc is roughly 1.75 cups. Oh, so like almost two cups? Is it like fluid cups? So, you know, when you're thinking of your like 2-cup measuring thing, that's so much boob. Okay, wow. Shoot for the fucking stars, I guess. Allison, yeah, for sure. Go for it. The thought of the back pain, though. Right, yeah, that's the thing that's so scary about it. What would that be in cup size? It's, like, that's not... So cup size is just the difference in the number of inches between your underbust and your bust, right? So, like, for me, the reason why my cup size is huge is because, like, my underbust is, like, 32 inches, and that's, like, right under your boobs, around your rib cage, right? And then around the most full part of your boob, you take another measurement, and mine is, like, 37. There's, like, a 5-inch difference between my band size and my cup size. So it depends on, like, what your size of proportions of your body, you know? It's not like D cups always weigh this much or always contain a certain amount of fat or whatever. Like, it's gonna depend on your body. Which is why trans girls, like, you have such a difficult time finding bras that fit, because you generally have, like, pretty big rib cages, and then, like, the difference in those two measurements is not usually very big for a while, at least, especially with so many of you guys having doctors who want to put you on, like, a stupid tiny amount of estrogen, like a criminally low amount of estrogen for a criminally long time. Yeah, it's definitely a whole thing. I did a shit ton of research to be able to figure out how bra sizes work. And a lot of it was done on Reddit. So, you know, shout out to r/a bra that fits for providing me with the basics that I needed to figure out what the fuck was going on. Okay, I'm gonna refill my coffee really fast, and then I'll be back. So, feel free to make your suggestions if you want to make any suggestions for today's show. I don't, like, it's not going to be a very serious show today, TBH. I've got a couple of, like, Twitter shit posting things, and then, like, oh, Megyn Kelly. Oh, no, Megyn Kelly. I'm just going to skip the surgeries and get an illithid tadpole instead. Yeah, that sounds good. Okay, now I'm back with coffee. Excellent. Okay. Are there many trans clothing companies? I would legit love a shop that was just women's clothes, but meant for femme trans men in my dreams. So I know that, like, oh my god, Lizzo has, like, a clothing line that includes, like, gaffs and stuff for trans women, and maybe she's got, like, binders as well. But yeah, I mean, that would be honestly great to have clothes that are specifically tailored for the purpose. Because otherwise you just feel like a fucking weirdo, like just an ill-fitting weirdo. You know, part of why I want to get back into sewing is because I want to be able to try on something at the store or at the thrift store or whatever and be like, okay, I really like this. It has a good cut and everything, but it doesn't quite fit in like this particular way, and be able to just go, oh, okay, well, easy enough. I'll just fucking fix it. And like, if you know how to use a sewing machine and you're pretty good at it, then it's fast. It's not like, oh, I'm putting another thing on my list of projects that are going to take several days. It's like, no, you can just fix things pretty quickly. That's what sewing machines are for. Most of the things that I found that's specifically meant for trans femme people are on Etsy. Right, because it's going to be individuals making those clothing. Yeah, it would be nice to have clothes alterations as part of more stores. True, like bring back tailoring, you know, like buying a generic thing and then having it tailored specifically to you. It's really expensive, and it's like a pretty niche thing at this point. There's like, if you live in a relatively small town, what you're like, do you think that there's a tailor in a town of like 500 people? Probably not. Bigger city, you probably could have one or two. Masculine like the Egyptians, Greeks, and Mesopotamians. Making your eyes and beard look more intense and masculine looking. There is such a thing. There's masculine contouring you can do. Like, you can do an entire face of makeup and just, like, create shadows in certain places to emphasize certain parts of your face. I need gaffs for smoothing. Other than that, I live in dresses and leggings. Fair enough. I am a person who now basically lives most of my life in sweatpants and tank tops. And right now I'm wearing a hoodie. But yeah, I mean, that's like my outfit on the regular now. Andes, welcome in. I can't believe that you're late. I'm so offended. And if you can sew, you can add pockets to any dress. You'd be unstoppable. Oh gosh, 42 people in here. The more likes we get, the faster I will start talking about the actual news. If we can get to 50 likes, then I'll start talking about the actual news. I just tuck and live in a constant state of paranoia that someone can somehow see a bulge. Yeah, I mean, in Texas too, like, oh god, it's so rough. It's like not only physically uncomfortable, but the fact that you would also be nervous about your tuck coming undone. I still have the body of Dwayne Johnson and it kills me. You just gotta stop lifting anything ever, apparently. Going to unlike the stream so we can keep BSing. Or, if someone donates $200, I will not talk about anything serious tonight. That's the price today. We've done it before, I'll do it again. Oh gosh. I'm less and less bummed out about Twitter the more time goes on. There's still occasionally funny stuff there, and I still go over there and I'm like, what are we talking about? What's happened on the news, according to Twitter in the last couple days. But it's definitely like I go there for work, and then I leave. I'm still bummed out about it. Yeah, I'm just having more fun on Blue Sky. It just feels like, you know, I used to kind of just post whatever I wanted on Twitter, and it was just, to me, it felt like posting into the void. And Blue Sky is a little bit more like that because I get very little interaction on there. Whoa, I didn't realize I have 219 followers. That's pretty cool. Compared to like the 4,000 followers I had on my Twitter account. Rip. Rip in pieces. Blue Sky's great, and I love it more than I love Twitter, but it does not feel the hole left behind by my moots and my Twitter circle. That's fair enough. What's up, Shade? Hello, Mersh. Welcome in. Look at that. I was just telling everybody that if we get to 50 likes, then I will start talking about the actual news today. Did you see that Elon was going to start charging to even use Twitter? I saw a mention of that. Yes, I did. I'm happy I got a good used car. Excellent. You got your payout from your insurance, so that's good stuff. Mm. Posting into the void can be fun, but also lonely. Right. It's like, do I need to just post thirst traps on Blue Sky, and that's how I'll get in my engagement over there? I hope he does let the platform die. It's dying, definitely. Like, Twitter is just on its way out. I don't know if he's gonna sell it or if it's just gonna like crumble somehow. Yeah, insurance paid out after I turned them into the State Corporation Commission's fraud division. I'm more famous than you on Blue Sky? That's weird. You're like a real creator. I just spam nudes. Well, that's the thing. You spam nudes. I don't post nudes. And that's like a deficit. I'm never going to be able to measure up. I do not post the girl dick. What's up, Richard? What's up, Anthony? Yeah, we're just chilling for the time being. If we can get to 50 likes, then I'll start talking about the actual news, okay? That's what we have to... That's how you have to kick things off. Should I post nudes on Blue Sky? That's the question, Baphomet. Coffee's delicious. It is the Dragon Hour. It'll end up like MySpace. It will still be around, but no one will actually use it. I wonder if my old MySpace page is still up. I have definitely not logged into it in like 15 plus years. Who the hell knows how long it's been? I have no idea. Not even the neo-Nazis will pay the Twitter fee. I feel like most of the people who've paid the Twitter fee at this point are Nazis. Sadly found out I have a very mild mitral leak in my heart, but I can fix it with eating healthy and cardio workout. Well, I'm glad that it's a fixable problem. How many people are old enough to even remember MySpace? Yeah, hands up. Press 1 in chat if you actually had a MySpace. And press 2 if you did not have a MySpace, but you've heard about it. Lots of ones. Do we have any? Okay, we have a 2. Couple 2s. Heard of MySpace but never had it? Thanks, I feel old. Yeah, you're welcome. And Vampire Freaks. BB, I remember Vampire Freaks. Excuse me. Only the big rich Nazis will pay. The average ones and average MAGAs won't. I've heard them talk about it. Well, I guess that's good that at least some right-wingers are alienated from the site because of it becoming a paid service. We have 50 concurrent viewers. If we get to 50 likes, then I will start talking about the thing that I said I would talk about today. For now, we're just dicking around. I miss being able to go on some sketchy layout site to give my computer a virus and my MySpace page a sparkly neon grr background. I liked how MySpace and Gaia Online both afforded me the opportunity to learn a little bit of CSS and HTML. That was good. Gaia, yeah, I know. Gaia was good shit. Remember when you could have, like, music playing on your profile? That was fun stuff. Oh, we're so close to the likes. We just need to get to 50. So close. Making 2 new costumes that give the illusion of far more feminine features. Nice, Twitchy Witch. Good shit. Making custom HTML pages in Dreamweaver on the school computers. I remember thinking it was a real big decision to change your cursor. These were all really important decisions. Musk has pissed off many people by charging subscriptions for features on Tesla cars in Europe. Students in Germany hacked the entertainment system and jailbroke the Tesla heated seat functions, parking functions, etc. The fact that it'll be like, oh, by the way, you're getting a system update. Things like the door locks might not work correctly. Don't lock anyone in your car and walk away while this update is happening, because they might not be able to get out. Like, oh my god, what are you talking about? Tesla, no match for German engineers. I mean, yeah, isn't that usually the case? German engineers are like the best. Intentionally doesn't like, so the vibe isn't killed by talking about discourse. Our discourse isn't even okay. Here, let me tell you what. Okay, we're gonna talk about this like trans girl winning homecoming queen and people on the internet not liking that. Okay, and we're gonna meme on it, and it's gonna be stupid and funny. We're also gonna talk about a community note on Twitter that is dunking on Elon Musk, and it's funny and it's dumb, okay? And then the last thing that we have is Megyn Kelly. Megyn Kelly interviewed Trump and asked him about trans people, and apparently, according to her, he was not transphobic enough. So basically, we're not gonna do anything that's too hardcore today. That's like my plan, okay? Elon Musk is a thumb. True. I'm pretty sure Tesla violates EU privacy laws on multiple levels. I'm not surprised. It's crazy how often I see Teslas. I'm like, why are there so many of you? I don't want to drive anywhere near you, you know. I don't want one. If one is in front of me, I give it extra space because I'm like, I don't want you to slam on your brakes and then I won't have enough time to react. Like, I give them more space than I even give regular cars. Like, I give them about as much space as I give motorcycles, and I give motorcycles a lot of space. And like, I don't, if one's behind me, I'm like, I guess I don't notice that as much. If they're beside me, I don't like that either. Thumbs are useful. Elon is like an appendix. Elon is a douche nozzle. Yeah, Phoebe, he does bring that up. Excuse me. I remember my roommate was driving me to a discount grocery store to buy some cheap defective food, and I saw a Tesla in the parking lot. Like, why are you here, Mr. Tesla? Surely you can afford to go to a better grocery store. He sunk all his money into the Tesla. That's what happens when you want a weird status symbol like that. You're like, oh, well, I can't afford food now. But you know what? This car payment is litty. Elon, an annoying and possibly cancerous skin tag. Are skin tags usually... I don't think skin tags are usually cancerous. Okay, we have 50 likes. So technically speaking, I should start talking about the stuff that I said I was going to. 50 viewers, 50 likes. It's perfectly even right now. All right, well, let's start doing some stuff. Let's talk about the Elon Musk thing first, because it's going to be funny and it's not going to take very long. I had to open YouTube just to drop a like. I hope you appreciated it. Thank you. I do appreciate it. I don't know why YouTube doesn't allow for a like button to be embedded on video embeds. So I don't know of any way to add that to the site. Or I think that they would have done that already. But regardless. Okay, so I do think it's funny how Elon is becoming hated even by the diehards on his platform, seemingly. Because, you know, like, most of the people who are left on Twitter at this point are the diehards, right? Most of the people who are left... Because, I mean, I'm still on there, technically, but I'm not spending very much time on there at all. I go on there to see, oh, is there anything happening that I could talk about on stream? Oh, okay, cool, whatever, I'm leaving now. But there are people who pay for his subscription. He's now saying that he might start charging for anyone to use the site, which is going to reduce its user base even more. And he is like, you know, usually there's a lot of diehards, and there still are some diehard stans. But the funny thing is that the number of those is dwindling to the extent that someone tweeted, and here, let me make this bigger so that when I move over, you'll be able to see it just fine. Elon Musk is reportedly considering the idea of killing himself. This person says via at Dexerto, which is, I think that's a real news website, but they're just joking. And like, it's not actually a link to an article. It's just a picture that looks like it would link to an article, right? And then you scroll down a little bit and it says readers added context they thought people might want to know. This is true. And like, context is written by people who use X and appears when rated helpful by others. So a lot of people have apparently rated this as being helpful. So that's how bad it's getting. Is like, a decent number of users are hopping onto this joke and being like, yeah, it's true that he's trying to think about killing himself. I know, my camera's on strike. I know. Here, listen. Check out the top list there if someone wants to get me the camera that I'm gonna get to replace my camera. Oh god. It's not even that expensive. I just am waiting to feel like confident that I'm not gonna like have a sudden... I'm like, my tires need to be replaced, so I'm trying to make sure that I'm not poor if one of them decides to jump the shark. Okay, we're doing this again. Oh, you're supporting the camera strike? I see how it is, Quantum Cactus. I'm going to break your union. You think that the movie executives are bad. You have no idea. Got no idea. I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna break your union. Exactly. This is not a union-friendly stream. I told you I'm a dictator, right? Oh my god, dude. I cannot... What the fuck is... Bro. Yeah, everybody donate to the new Lux Camera Fund. Yes. Okay. Pain, suffering, if you will. Yeah, it really, like... It did it, like, multiple times there for... It was interesting. Dragon Tater. Okay. Now I'm full screen again. Hello, welcome back. I'm here. Goodness gracious. So yeah, I just thought that was funny enough to talk about it on stream. Like, Elon is... Like, not only is he a super pathetic dude, but, like, even the limited users on his website who usually support him are getting tired of his shit. Like, no, how dare you talk about charging for the platform? Hell yeah, insurance card? Fuck yeah. I would join the union, but I do not trust machines. True. True. Lux Scab Dragon confirmed. Oh. That's such a harsh insult. Calling someone a scab? It's just brutal. It's just unnecessary. Anyhoozle. Anyway. Scab Dragon? More like Bad Dragon. True. That's definitely the case. Oh my god. Get my feet up here. Well, I guess we can talk about the, I feel like I'm just gonna run through my news pretty quickly here, and then, so it's like, should I just goof off for a longer and then talk about the news later, or talk about the news now and then end up goofing off at the end of stream, because I'm not gonna have a lot to talk about today. Excuse me. So glad Mars scab attempt is flopping. Yeah, I guess I should talk about Drew Barrymore and Bill Maher. What was Bill Maher's thing? News then goofs, less pressure. True. What was it exactly that Bill Maher did? I forgot to read about the online safety bill, so I was like, oh, that's what this is in this tab. Said he was going to start the show again without writers. Okay, so he just did exactly the same thing that Drew Barrymore did, where they're like, yeah, JK, we're just going to start up our show and not write it in any way. Desi Quiche, thank you so much for the $10 dono. I said I'd send a dono once I got my paycheck, so here you go. Fuck yes. Thank you, Speedy. I appreciate you. Yes. and either today I can do the standard flex that you guys are usually such a big fan of, or I'll do an unreasonable number of push-ups. Whatever you prefer. Hell yeah, thank you. Bill Maher and Drew Barrymore tried to break the picket line and then both backed off. Right! They both had like a pretty serious backlash. I'm guessing like WGA and SAG were like, hey bro, you know, you better watch out. Maher was going to come back. Panel only. Majority report suspects that he could not get a panel, and unlike Barrymore, he is considered a writer. Okay. Since both of those shows need guests, I'm guessing they realized nobody else was going to scab to be on their programs. Fair enough. Okay, yeah, Timerinia likes push-ups. How many push-ups would it need to be? If we got to $100? I'm waiting for the day we can see Pat back. Jade! Thank you so much for the tier 3 sub. Ooh, I hope that you like that purple color. Here's some monies for a new camera. Fuck yes. I will be getting a new camera at least before Christmas. Like, $1 equal 1 push-up. You want me to do 100 push-ups? You want me to just go to failure? I could just go to failure. Dang, I'm gonna have to actually do some exercise. This is blasphemy. Wait, no, that's not right. It's, how much is a tier 3 sub? Tier 3 sub is like 15? Or is a tier 3 sub 20? I can't fucking remember what my own tier subs are. One push-up for $10? Only 10 push-up? Go to failure? Okay. $5 per push-up. I go to failure every day. I start at failure, in fact. Okay, fair enough. I mean, I don't know if we're gonna get there, but if we get to the thing, I'll do push-ups until I can't do them anymore. Won't that be fun? This will be how I get back into doing the exercise that I need to be doing. I'm just doing so much cardio on the weekends. Ugh. Okay, Bill Maher, yeah, reverses course, pauses HBO show. Bill Maher postpones return to the air. I feel like I should do an actual discussion about this, but I just don't want to. Hashtag Team Softboy. Is that something that you guys are starting? Because I don't want to be softboy. I want to be rigid. I want to be harder than a diamond. I want to be harder than... I was like gonna name a porn star, and then I realized that I don't know any. That was good. That was a good... I used to be able to do like 50 push-ups in 2 minutes when I was in the military. What if you start holding the bugs hostage? If the dono goal is not met, they die. I like them. I can't threaten to kill... It's like an empty threat. It's like saying I'm gonna kill my hostage when you know for sure that I'm not gonna kill the hostage. It's like, it's not gonna be influential on your behavior. Me, Softweight, Lux, Johnny Sins? True. Honestly, I wish people would stop watching him and stop making him valid. He's a condescending dick. I haven't watched Bill Maher in years. Like, I remember watching the movie Religulous that he made. And then, like, I never really watched his show. He always seemed pretty smarmy to me. And then... he does seem to consistently show that he is, you know, a classical liberal, as they say. Harder than dicks. True. If I had Twitter, I could pull up any number of the T-girl tops I followed. I thought that even T-girl tops, like, had an issue with, you know, the maintenance of the boners. Yes, dicks in chat. Yes, Maher is 100% ego. I agree. He's just... he came off as such an ass in that movie. I'm sure at the time I was an edgy atheist and I enjoyed it, but now is just... I don't know, I probably would not feel as good about it now. But I also look back at my own hardcore anti-theist phase and go, okay, well, that was probably a bit much. I still, like, hold most of the same beliefs, but it's like, would I go out of my way to bitch about this to someone? Probably not. I have other issues that matter a lot more to me than that particular issue. Depends on how much hormones, I'm guessing. Yeah, fair enough. You can get topical T-gel. Fair enough, you know? What's up, Ursa? We're still, mostly vamping. We're talking about some fun stuff. We're talking about Bill Maher, making fun of Elon Musk. You know how it is. I thought you said Billy Mays. Calm down, he can't hurt you. There is nothing wrong with Billy Mays, alright? Except for all the cocaine that he did. There was nothing wrong with him. He was perfect. There was nothing you could possibly criticize. Okay, fair enough. If you still work at it, you can still do it. I just had my 5th HRT med appointment yesterday. High five! Right. I'm not even gonna try to replicate a Billy Mays level of energy right now. I don't have that. I don't have that to spend. I'm off HRT right now, thinking of going DIY. I think that you could. Estrogen is in that, like, gray area for sure. 55 concurrent viewers, 59 likes. Okay, we should do the thing that I said we were gonna do today. Where are my links? I want my links. I have so much editing to catch up on. It's pretty much my life all the time. Just always have editing to catch up on. Hey, the cocaine is rock and roll. Billy Mays and cocaine, that makes more sense than him not being on cocaine. I don't actually know if that's true. I don't actually know. Did Billy Mays do, like, why did Billy Mays die? Hypertensive heart disease. Yeah, according to NPR, cocaine contributed to Billy Mays' death. Wow, he died a long time ago. This article came out in 2009. Autopsy shows that cocaine use contributed to the heart disease that suddenly killed boisterous TV pitchman Billy Mays. Died of a heart attack in his sleep. Yep. Not good. Yep, from all the cocaine he did. Yep, Oh, gosh. I work with autistic youth and have to keep the energy high the entire shift. I know. I realize that it's one of those things that my show might not be in the same vein as some other people's, because other people are like, hey, like, what's up? Let's go. And I'm like, yeah, bro, I'm tired. Like, this, what you're getting is what you're getting. And that's political discussion from a sardonic, easily irritated dragon. That's what you're getting. Hope you enjoy. Man, this coffee that I made is just so good. That's what I'm here for. Well, good. We 10 out of 10 would recommend. Cocaine? 10 out of 10 would recommend cocaine? Thank you, Tabaxi. Yes, my mother-in-law got me this mug. It might be about to be my main mug. TBH, I'm a recovered cocaine addict. I'm good friends with somebody who's a recovered coke addict. No listening to a EP sardonic dragon. Oh, okay. 10 out of 10 would recommend listening to an EP sardonic dragon. True. You mean you feel like a person instead of a personality? Oh, I guess that's fair. Yeah. I know that it would be better technically for overall numbers if I was more like making memes and stuff. There's a reason why PewDiePie is as popular as he is, right? You know? But I just can't do it. ABA used to be, and still is in some parts of the country, abusive. We're avoiding all the shitty tactics, and you need to bounce off your client to have a smooth session. Yeah, I mean, as far as I understand it, pretty much everybody I know who's had an experience with ABA is like, this sucks and it was abusive, even if it wasn't physically abusive. Like, just the fact that you're trying to teach autistic kids to suppress their traits, like, is traumatizing in a certain way. Yeah, but that's also why I eventually stopped watching Pewds. I don't like PewDiePie. Let me be clear. I don't like Felix. I don't think I'm imagining you hyping up the crocheted mushrooms. Look at this. Oh, get off. Why are you on there? I'm in the process of making, like, so many of these. I'm going to make, like, probably 20 or so. Oh god, you can't see them because the exposure is so high. These are mushroom bottoms. It's like the bottom part of the mushroom. And then I'm going to affix a top part to the mushroom. But I'm going to make, like, a bunch of these for favors for my friends at Renaissance Festival. So that's going to be good. I know, they're so cute. They're so tiny. Bottoms, exactly. I talked to Demon Mama about ABA on one of her call-in streams. ABA is horrendously abusive. Yeah, and I don't know. People try to redeem it, and it's like, you start over from scrap. You can't do, like, this is a good version of ABA. Like, just scrap it, start over, figure something else out. Bottom text. I've always been surprised to learn who's biggest on YouTube. I'd never heard of PewDiePie until he was falling off. If you can manage to be popular with teenagers, and I don't make content for teenagers, you know, that's not what I am here for. And, like, children. Did I miss something about mushrooms? Yeah, I've been making these tiny crochet mushrooms. Or I'm in the process of making a bunch of them. Like, here's a couple that I have finished. Wow, but I'm making even smaller ones to give out to people at the Ren Fair. Lux, when you're at the gym, do you have the problem where none of the equipment seems to be made for people without Hank Hill asses? Not that I've noticed. I don't think so. But I'm also a skinny bitch, so I probably don't have as many issues. Yes, I have a bunch of bottoms in my hand. That's what was going on. Well, are we ready to talk about this, trans teenager thing? Let me open up my stream notes. Oh, yes, I got them open already. I'm a bottom pleading emoji. Just, like, what do you think about professionals with channels? I'm a bit suspicious about them, to be honest. What do you mean? Do you mean, like, Thank you, Sasha. I appreciate that. I'm probably gonna make mushrooms, like, of varying sizes for a monthly raffle on my Patreon. Like, I have this one. I don't know if I want to make them all this big, or if this is, like, too much. I think she means people like Poppy/TGT. Oh, like lawyers? I don't know. I feel like those people are going to be best equipped to communicate certain ideas. Like, I enjoy legal, but yeah. Off to mow my lawn and lurk. Have fun mowing the lawn. Good luck out there. Lawyers or psychiatrists, therapists, or doctors. Yeah, I mean, I guess you need science communicators, right? I guess in some ways, the good thing about the media deciding which people were experts that were, like vetted, basically. So the benefit is that they were vetted by someone who decided that they were a professional, right? But that's the trick, though. That's the thing, is that you also have the news deciding who's an expert, the news deciding who gets to speak on something, right? So it's one of the good things about YouTube is that it's sort of an equalizing effect where anybody can get on there, and that's good, and that's, like, good and bad, in my opinion. It's like, you know, you could say it's a good thing that experts are not being gatekept Like, for example, I'm a trans person, and you would not see someone like me on TV. You know, even within the realm of trans people, excuse me, you're not gonna see like a self-described like non-binary gender fuck it's tranny on mainstream TV. Like the bar for entry is pretty low. And so that's like a good thing in that way. On the other hand, you know, you have like weird Christian channels who are purporting to be experts on relationships and giving advice that leads a lot of people to get married before they're ready and like married to someone who's not right for them and like pop out a bunch of kids that they don't want really. And like, yeah, so it can be toxic and harmful to people. And like, it's true. And it's, especially if you take it to the professional level, there's like therapists who have channels on YouTube, and you just like have to be discerning enough to be able to tell, okay, well, this person seems super biased in a particular way, or you have to be able and willing to go look into the research instead of just trusting necessarily. We need more trans people in mainstream media. Yeah, but like this is where we're confined to, is YouTube. Their marriage advice is still better than their child raising advice. I don't think you should listen to any weird Christian channels advice. Like, what is it? Girl Defined? That's one of the popular ones. I believe in the free marketplace of ideas. I think the problem is the algorithm not showing people the free market. Yeah, like they showed some guidelines, sort of, not exactly guidelines. They showed some information on the back end recently about how the algorithm works, right? To explain to me as a creator what it is that I could do or what is happening that could be boosting or deboosting my content, right? And so one of the things is, like, if other people are making content like what I am making and their content is doing better, then their content will get boosted even more and my content might be deprioritized, which is interesting. You would think that, you know, you would want to boost people who aren't doing well, but that's not the point of this platform. The point of the platform is to make money. So the stuff that's doing really well is going to do well exponentially because of this system. Like, they're basically divulging that, yeah, it's like the person who's doing well is going to continue pulling further and further and further and further and further ahead, no matter what any small creator does. Christian relationship advice is hit and miss. They get some things right about how to treat others, but they never tell you how to stand up for yourself, and they view women as property. I mean, that's the major problem. Yes, that they don't allow people to be equals within a relationship. And that's like why the relationship advice from Christians, I think, is fundamentally bad, because it almost always positions the woman as like a servant in the relationship, basically. These people wouldn't listen to experts anyway. I mean, fair enough. Not a man equals man's property. Yeah, anything that, according to Christians, anything that is not a man is simply the property of a man. It's an interesting thing because when science communicators, especially trans people, talk about scientific evidence, right-wingers call it an appeal to authority fallacy, when it's an appeal to the scientific method and peer review process. Meanwhile, they bring random dentists to legislative hearings to support their bigotry because right-wingers love to hear somebody with doctor in front of their name saying what they like. It's because they don't care about the rules. I mean, I feel like we've talked about this. You know, they don't actually respect authorities. They don't actually respect science. They don't actually respect free speech. They're just utilizing the aesthetic of these things in order to prop up their political goals. Later, Katya. Have a good night. Once as a kid, I went to a wedding and was cringing the entire time about how they kept going on about how subservient the wife is. Like, listen, if you're into that, your kink is okay. I'm okay with you having a 24/7 dom-sub relationship, okay? But, like, I don't really want to be roped into it in that way. The person officiating the wedding said all this stuff, right? I like Christians. They do butt stuff because it doesn't count. I just think that, you know, soaking is a really fun attempt to rules lawyer God, but I don't really think that you can rules lawyer God. I just don't think that he's going to permit that. I don't think that he's going to see you trying to rules lawyer him and go, oh, look at you, you're so funny. Isn't that great? He's going to be like, hey, what the fuck? They want the rest of us to follow their kink so they feel valid. True. Like, the levels of projection are off the charts because they say about us that if they use our pronouns, then that's us, like, having a delusional sex fantasy and that they're playing into it. Like, that we are sexually excited by someone using the correct pronouns instead of it being, like, you know, slightly less annoying to interact with people when they're getting your pronouns right. It's mandated kink Christianity. Mandatory chastity kink required. All right, later, Ellie. Mormon God is cool with soaking, but drinking coffee? Straight to hell. Well, I'll see you in hell, everybody. Drinking some coffee. The reason is the teens can't get condoms comfortably. I mean, they do soaking because it's technically not sex. And then there's jump humping, which I don't know if you've ever heard of jump humping, but it's like you're soaking and then a friend jumps on the bed next to you to create some friction and movement, and it's technically not you. So it doesn't count as sex still, you know? Oh, I'm so sorry, Speedy Shimeji. Soaking is when you put the penis in the vagina and you just leave it there and you don't move. And then eventually you pull it out, I guess. And then and then you're not having sex and, like, no sex happens, allegedly. It's like a thing that super Christian kids do. Like how they'll have anal sex, right? They'll have anal sex and they'll be like, this does not count, right? And then they'll soak and that's like, doesn't count. And like while you're soaking, you get a friend to jump on the bed. I'm like, why is your friend in the room? And then they jump on the bed and that makes a movement happen. And that's also technically not sex, according to this purview. I still know an older Christian woman that still believes that yoga and the butthole is the gateway for Satan. I will definitely say that the butthole is the gateway for Satan. I mean, listen, sometimes they get it right and we won't admit it to them, but in this space, for sure. If anal doesn't count, that I'm a virgin. True. Leave it to the Christians to reinvent just the tip. Truly. The good Lord would want it that way. Oh, God. What's up, soy boy? No, I'm just explaining the intricacies of Mormon theology. Okay? There's nothing weird about it. It's a little bit of exhibitionism and almost a three-way. Yeah, it's like, and you know that, like, your friend is sitting there like, haha, I know that you're wanting to have sex, but you technically can't, and so I'm going to jump on the bed and make friction happen. Bobert talking about drag story hours being a bad influence for youth as a joke. I saw that. She was thrown out of a movie theater recently for smoking a THC vape and touching her partner's private parts, penis, basically. She was giving a hand job while she moved his hand to touch her breast and fondle her in front of children in a crowded family event. Like a theater, by the way. When we say theater, it's like not a movie theater. It's a theater. Thank you. Thank you, GeoQuag. I appreciate. Hit the like button before you go, and thank you very much. Do you think it's a fair criticism of queer prior that we're obsessed with butts? Wait. I think that maybe there was a typo somewhere in there. I thought it was a regular vape. I don't actually know if it was a regular vape or a weed vape. Mormons must love trampolines. As a former Mormon, I was at the general conference when the second person from the top talked to the church about soaking. What did they say? Kitty, what did they say? Do you think it's a fair criticism of queer people that we're obsessed with butts? Why is it a criticism? It was a Beetlejuice musical. Yes, as I understand it. I should have done a segment about this. It would be so funny. Oh man. Ugh. Indeed, butts. I mean, everybody's like, butts are off limits. So you gotta shout out the goodness. She refused to stop vaping when the pregnant woman behind her asked her to stop. Oh my god. Oh no. She asked the usher, "Do you know who I am?" and gave him the middle finger as he threw her out. This is a whole thing that happened over the weekend, and I kind of missed it. They were talking about how soaking is a serious problem with the youth in our church today. It must not be confused, and you must explain that it is sex. Okay, so they were saying to church leadership that you need to teach the youths that soaking is sexual behavior. My theory is that Boebert was completely fucking wasted. I feel like, you know, her inhibitions must have been messed with in some form or fashion. Who knows what she did? We're so close to 69 likes. Look at that. It was also an issue for Mormons to go to Vegas and get married for a night so that they could have sex and then getting divorced the next day. But then you can't get married again. I thought that they were against remarriage. Hey, 69 likes. Nice. Isn't the guy she was on a date with the owner of a gay bar that hosted drag shows? Oh, I don't know. It's still possible to get pregnant, sure, Andes, from, like, just unprotected soaking, but, like, it's like a lot less likely. You just have to do the steps to get into the temple later, like, just repent later. Fair enough. Yeah, I also thought they were against divorce, but I guess you just have to like perform certain rituals to get back into the... Okay, Lauren, oh my god. I don't want to do this today. It's been fun memeing about it, but I'm not going to do an actual segment, but I will look at this really quick. Man groped by Lauren Boebert during frisky Beetlejuice date, owns gay-friendly bar that hosts drag shows. She's vaping... And, like, they're in a theater, and then they start doing stuff, and, like, I'm not gonna show it on stream, because I think I'd get in trouble. But, yeah. When people are working that hard to find loopholes, you might be failing. Yeah, if you have to go through so many, like, mental gymnastics in order to justify your behavior as, like, oh, technically not sex, just admit to yourself that you want to have sex, okay? And then do it, because... religion is stupid. Like, the bad thing with Boebert is that she has been thrown out of public places before. Her ex-husband exposed himself to 2 young girls in order to show them, quote, a tattoo. She was thrown out with him as well, and he did some jail time for his sex offense. She is a sex offender. Does she qualify as a sex offender? Religion bad, sex good. I will say, like, Christianity bad, sex good. Right? But yeah, just drop the faith at that point. I think they know they want to have sex. They're just unable to imagine that God doesn't exist because they've been raised in such insular communities. I guess I never really, really, really seriously believed in God. So I cannot imagine being like, oh my God, my whole worldview. Like, I had something of a deconversion, but, like, not really. It was more like I just, for the first time, I thought about it at all and was like, oh yeah, nobody is, like, on the other end of this call. If I'm trying to talk to God, there's, like nobody there actually listening. Jerking off the boyfriend in public is a public sex offense. At least it is in Virginia. She could also be charged as a public nuisance. Please. Soaking strikes me as something kind of tragic. Like, the teens doing that are the victims in this situation. No, I don't disagree with you. Like, if any of you follow Rhett and Link, they have their podcast Ear Biscuits, where they, a couple years ago, they talked about their experience growing up as evangelical Christians and, like, the harm that was done to them as they were going through puberty, believing that sex was a sin and that women were inferior and that, like, masturbation was also wrong, but they couldn't stop doing it because they were horny teenagers, you know, and, like, you know, how it impacted their marriage. So it's a lot. What's up, Anansi? I was molested by a, quote, sex offender. He said he was 17 at the time. Yeah. It's really rough. Believing in God really fucked with my sense of sexuality for a while. Like, he's my father and he sees this. The idea that you're being constantly surveilled. Excuse me. I was raised atheist, and it's really bizarre, to me to see people who really believe in that stuff. It's weird to me too, but, you know. I guess, like, if you're raised to believe something... No, he lied and said he was 17, Anansi, I think is what happened. They were actually older. I could not even date until I ditched Christianity, and that was in my 20s. Took me even longer to figure out my sexuality. You know... And that's something that Rhett and Link talk about in their series, is, like, they are cis-het men, and even they were harmed by this, even though they are the kind of people who are not systemically under that kind of pressure. Like, they do think, like, their wives had it worse in a way, because their wives were supposed to feel all this guilt about covering their bodies because it would be their fault if they, like, caused their boyfriend to stumble and sin, as though the boys in that situation don't have any autonomy, you know? And, like, the way that that causes them to feel about their bodies and their place in society and things is obviously even more intense. But, like, yeah, even cis white men who are straight can be, like, negatively affected by these Christian, like, hardcore abstinence teachings. No worries, Baphomet. We'll see you later. Yeah, religious trauma is hard. I think Christianity so heavily polices people's behavior because it doesn't create obedience without shame. They need everyone in the religion from top to bottom to be ashamed of something they did, so they make it impossible not to do something that Christianity says you need to be ashamed of. Like, if you aren't ashamed of yourself, you won't want to make up for your sins by being a good Christian. Yeah, it's kind of like how women did not used to shave their legs. That was, like, a cultural influence that razor companies had because they started advertising to women. Like, they created the market for women to buy razors. In a similar way, like, Christianities create a market for you to need forgiveness for some alleged misconduct. I was homeschooled by evangelicals. Oh my god, that sounds so difficult. I know that was the case for shaving underarms. Was it for shaving legs too? I don't remember exactly where it started, if it just started with shaving underarms, but, like, women didn't used to shave their legs either. Like, that was, like, part of the thing. Even if it didn't start out as, like, focused on the legs, it became part of it. Precisely, yes, Christianity tells you that you're poisoned and then offers you the cure for the poison that you allegedly drank. So, yep, it's quite difficult. Shame is very effective means to control people, but even secular societies do that. Well, yeah, of course they do, but it's not the same. Like, secular societies don't, on the whole, like, create a bunch of fake things to be ashamed of, you know? Like, why would a secular society say that masturbation is bad? You know? There's not a good reason for that. And that's the kind of thing that Christianity does. Say, oh, masturbation is bad. Looking at a woman's body is bad. Like, thinking about sex is bad. True. Yeah, we evolved from monkeys when our women started shaving their legs. They've been shaving them for millennia. Women have always been shaving their legs. So yeah, I mean, but I do think that shame has a good place. Like, frankly, I think that we should shame people for being racist and transphobic. Like, I think that you should feel a risk of social consequence for that. Masturbating and sex is bad for my heart. Took that first estrogen pill and a razor just appeared in my hand and shaving cream on my legs just spontaneously. You broke the laws of thermodynamics. My dad was raised Christian Science and has a lot of religious trauma, I think. So he raised me with a lot of anti-religion sentiment. My dad was hands-off with religion. My mom, let me go to church when I asked to, or sometimes I think she would use church as childcare. But it's like, for me, I just wanted to hang out with my cousin. And other than that, and this, there was an old lady who would give me candy out of her purse, and that was cool. But other than that, I don't really ever think I was super invested in it. I was just passively like, okay, cool. Not really old enough to think about this too hard. Women started shaving their legs less than 100 years ago because of advertising. Gillette specifically, it was more of a fashion thing before that point. Yeah, literally they marketed to the women this idea that they were gross if they didn't shave their body hair. The looking can be bad. Looking at women can be bad if it becomes leering and treads into a non-consensual fetishization that makes her uncomfortable, but that's complicated and needs room for nuance. Yeah, but that's obviously not the same as saying that, if you're talking to a woman and you glance at her tits by accident, then that's something that you need to go beat yourself up for and apologize to Jesus about. Imagine Ariel having legs for 2 weeks and Eric buys her a razor and cream. Thankfully, that would have been before the time that women shave their legs. Japan has a lot of shame and it's got nothing to do with religion. Yeah, that's true. Well, honestly, the honor system in Japan, they're founded on certain principled beliefs, right? And it's not superstitious, but I do think that you could potentially quantify it as being philosophically motivated, religiously motivated, because the Buddha was not a deity, right? And even most practitioners of Buddhism today don't believe that he is a deity, but it's a philosophical set of beliefs. And that's kind of how I view religion as a whole. Is religion to some degrees is an organized philosophical system that often engages with superstition, although that's not always part of it. Because you can have weirdly, you can have atheistic religions, basically. Women wearing shirts with logos just to tempt me to look at their boobas. I know, with the any woman who's wearing a shirt with words on it, if you read the shirt, then you're committing a sin. Oh god. Did you get the strawberry-filled hard candies? I don't think so. I think they were probably more like toffees. Oh, goodness. Let's talk about this trans girl on Twitter thing. What constitutes a religion versus just a belief system? Is it the use of a deity? I am sure that that is a hotly debated question within theocratic circles. I'm going to go ahead and guess. Japan had open bathhouses and well-regarded sex workers before Western influence. I was just watching something that said that was some people being interviewed on the street in Japan, and they were asking, would it be cheating if your boyfriend paid for a prostitute? And most of the respondents said no, it would not be cheating if their boyfriend paid a prostitute. But also, apparently, prostitution, like most sex workers, are not full service. It might be other services. And also, most of the women said, like, as long as it's not something he has feelings for the person. So for Japanese people, it seems like they do still kind of at least have a slightly more neutral view towards sex work than we do. Oh, I probably meant theological. Yeah, true. It's a religion if the guy is dead. It's a cult if he's still alive. Oh, good grief. Okay. Maybe I need to get, like, a cup of water, and then we're going to talk about the thing in the title. So if you were here for Trans Girl Wins Homecoming Queen with clear biological advantage over cis classmates, then we're going to talk about that here in a second. But I'm going to refill my water. You should consider getting some water or a little snicky snack and maybe hitting the like button. And I will be back. It's more transactional than romantic. Yeah, exactly. Okay. In my experience doing video chats, I spend about half the time just talking to these guys about their days and what's going on in their lives. They just want a therapist. That's why I won't do sex work, is because they just want a therapist. Okay, I have water. Oh. Just throwing stuff on the floor, apparently. I want a sexy therapist. Yeah. What was it? Is it like, it goes the opposite way in that one Green Day song. He's like, I went to a shrink to analyze my dreams. He said it's lack of sex that's bringing me down. And then, like, I went to a whore and said my life's a bore, but quit my whining cause it's bringing her down. Yeah, imagine being a therapist and a sex worker rolled up into one. Like, you spend a few sessions talking to the guy, and then you realize what the issue is, and you're like, okay, we're gonna do, like, a really intense kink session, and it's gonna be a lot of exposure therapy, and then you're gonna be cured, okay? Fucking $700, please. I'm trying to get a master's in clinical mental health counseling, and it's more of a natural segue than you'd think. I had a crush on a therapist once. Ugh. Therapy would be better if I had some booba to look at. Mm-hmm. It kind of is a thing. I mean, yeah. I'm imagining that it like, you know, as a full-service sex worker, you want to vet your clients anyway, so you spend a decent amount of time. New stream goal, $700 for sex therapy. I'm doing good. I'm doing good on that. You don't need to donate to me for sex therapy. I'm fine. I think sex workers who focus on helping men overcome anxiety is about women and learning what to do in bed. Fair enough. How much to cancel segments? I mean, it's not going to be that bad, the segments, but it would, you know, we would have to at least double the stream goal, and I don't even know if we're going to get to the stream goal. And actually, you all said that you wanted push-ups today. So if we get to the stream goal, then I'm going to do push-ups until I can't do anymore. Or if I suddenly get to $200, then I will apparently not be doing any more segments today. Hands-on sex ed is desperately needed. I don't know how... I just think that, you know, more easily accessible videos and stuff, like, and, like, having them accessible on platforms that aren't exclusively pornographic in nature. Like, can we talk about safe anal sex on YouTube without it getting demonetized and age restricted, right? No, I want a sex worker with a PhD in psychology. Figured it out. A pretty hard dick in psychology? That sounds about right. Okay. Amazing. PhD in prostate play. True. Imagine if you could get a degree. It's like, what was her name? What was the name of the sex worker on Firefly? Was it like Inara or something like that? She was like a professional. She went to school practically. I mean, she like learned how to do it. I'd honestly love to start doing stuff like that once I get my LPC, but I think there's issues with the ethics rules for therapists. Yeah, I think if you were gonna do therapy sex work, you would have to be primarily a sex worker who just like worked your therapy skills into your sex work. I don't think you could be primarily a therapist and also sex work as part of that. I think there would be rules against that, okay? All right, we're finally gonna talk about the thing on the title of the stream, so you better hit like. Let's get to 75 likes. That would be nice. I was almost a male stripper, but that's because I loved validation from women and was addicted to it. True enough. P enters V. So how do you feel about your mother? Love it. We're loving it. Oh, Jesus. Yeah, very Freudian. Okay. Did you know that trans girls have an advantage, not only in sports, not only in chess, not only in beauty contests, but also in popularity contests in high schools? They have a biological advantage over all their cisgender classmates. Because in Missouri, there was a young trans woman, trans teenage girl, who was crowned homecoming queen. And according to Libs of TikTok, a male beat all the girls and was crowned homecoming queen in a Missouri school this weekend. We spoke with two parents who were disgusted that the district is affirming the delusions of kids and confusing them further. Full story here. Like, yeah, trans women have a biological advantage in being popular with their high school classmates now. A male was more popular than all of the females, apparently. So, I just think, yeah, so Juniper says, and I wanted to point this out, the most staggeringly bizarre aspect of the modern trans panic is how these grown-ass adults will spend their time politically bullying literal children online, just plainly evil that would not be tolerated in any other context. And this has been going on for a while. You know, one of the reasons why I'm still ass mad at TJ from the Amazing Atheist channel is that he bullied Milo Stewart when Milo was a 17-year-old. Like, when Milo was a teenager posting YouTube videos, like, doing spinnies in their office chair and things like this, like, attacked a teenager. And, like, this seems to be only okay to do to, like, minority groups. Like, you know, you'll see black teenagers be villainized online. And, like, yeah, trans teenagers just existing and being attacked by these whole-ass adults. Thank you, Kitty. Amazing. Pole dancing is for real, so much fun, though. True enough. And Chaya did not even stop here. Like, Chaya kept posting about this. Chaya Rychik is the name, I believe, of the person who owns the Libs of TikTok channel. And she couldn't stop. She just couldn't stop herself. Posting this picture of all the queen candidates and the winner in the middle, saying one of these people is a male with an Adam's apple who won homecoming queen in this district, and the four others are young girls who had their dreams crushed by a man. Can you guess which one is a male? Like, okay, so we're now going to judge teenagers' appearances and, like, judge them against current standards of beauty? Like, the current idea of what constitutes beauty standards? Like, yeah, this girl is not conventionally attractive in some key ways. And some of those are, like, non-white features, like the shape of the nose, the bridge nose. Like, from the profile, you can kind of see, like, she has a very strong nose. But, like, lots of beautiful women have that strong nose. Like, she's a teenager. obviously probably fairly early in her transition. But it's like, yeah, do we want to go through and pick apart the appearances of all these other girls and go like, oh, this one has a bit of a shadow right there. Ooh, maybe she has an Adam's apple. And like, ooh, you know, this one's cheekbones are so wide. Like, oh, oh, look at that jawline. That's a man's jaw. Like, is this really what you're doing? Is this really what we're going to spend our time doing? Like, attacking teenagers? Yeah, it looks like a bunch of teenager girls happy in a photo. Like, the only girl who doesn't look like she's actually having a good time in this photo. I mean, honestly, first of all, she has not figured out how to smile in a way that doesn't look like she's in pain, I will say. She looks like she's grimacing a bit. This girl looks a little bit reserved and not super happy. But, like, all the rest of these girls look like, you know, they're just happy to be there. Yeah, women have noses? No. It's like when people see pictures of, like, a woman with, like, her pelvic bone is visible in her leggings. And they're like, look at that bulge. And it's like, yeah, in before, women are not allowed to have pelvic bones. Wait, Ursa, I think I may have missed a message from you. Not in my Christian world. Voldemort is the only true woman. True. Just the flattest of noses. No nose allowed. No protrusions on a female body. If you really think about it, you know, the argument has been made before that, you know, the Y chromosome truly is quite feminine in that it's lacking certain protrusions on it. You know, it's a little bit more delicate. Yeah, they really post stuff like this and wonder why the self-esteem in teen girls is so low. Like, and like, honestly, welcome to womanhood, young lady who's wearing this nice, beautiful purple dress and won prom queen. Like, honestly, it is strangely validating to trans women and trans girls to, like, immediately be judged by your appearance. Like, immediately just like, oh, okay, well, we're going to say that you're a man repeatedly, but also we're going to start immediately judging your appearance. One other thing that I wanted to point out that someone said here is that, like, these teen girls who lost the homecoming queen contest, the popularity contest, the ones who lost, she describes them as young girls. And she describes this teenage trans girl who's probably like the same age, like right around the same age. She's not even the tallest one in the picture. Like, she's the same age as all these other girls, and they're calling her a man. Like, you know, if you were going to be consistent about the age of these people, you know, technically speaking, you would say that this person is a teenage boy. Like, that a teenage boy won homecoming queen. But no, she says a man, which is another one of those, like, things that tends to happen to certain minority groups. Like, the thing that comes to mind is when, like, you know, a young black girl is considered, like, highly sexualized in a way that white girls aren't, or, like, that black boys are treated as, like, dangerous adult men when they're still, like, 12 years old, you know? It's, like, the same kind of deal where you're trying to create a difference between the person in the minority position, and you want to cast them as an aggressor. Like, she just, like, this is a thing that they vote on. Homecoming queen, people vote. So people in this school had these 5 girls to choose from, and enough of them wanted to do something nice, like she's popular apparently, or like she's well liked, or the school, like the school student body really wanted to demonstrate that they supported her transition or something. Like, I don't know. But that's awesome to be like, yeah, I'm popular enough and good enough. So it's not like anything to do with her stealing opportunities away from, like, sports or whatever. Not that that shit is okay either to, like, make those accusations, but yeah. The American political right is at war with all women. They are trying to play the divide and conquer game, getting women fighting amongst themselves as they take rights away from all, remembering the overturn of Roe. That's just the beginning. Yeah, exactly, Junebug. Outlining, yeah, Mersh has outlined the reason, the realization that drove me away from TERFdom. That realization that it's opening the door to policing women. Oh my god. Excuse me. Yeah, the woman from Libs of TikTok is simply jealous. She has contempt for a beautiful young high school girl winning as homecoming queen because she knows she could not have done it herself. Yeah, like let's just remember. This unpopular clocky bitch is the person who we're talking about here. This is the person who owns the Libs of TikTok channel. So this clocky bitch is sitting here talking about how the appearance of a young trans girl and like, oh, she's a man. Like, oh, look at these other girls. Like, oh, which one can you tell? It's like, why? What is your problem, lady? I had transphobic slurs thrown at me as a teen. I'm AFAB because I was super tall at 6 foot and had short red hair. Any woman who doesn't reach the arbitrary rules of womanhood are immediately denied it. Fortunately, it's one of the things that made me realize, I don't really mind this. Right, yeah, transvestigators are hilarious. Is it bad if I'm transphobic to her because she looks more like a guy than most trans people? I mean, technically I'm doing the same thing that you're doing, Anansi, is like, I'm calling her a clocky bitch, which is me saying that she's like she's not scanning 100% cis, you know? You're not scanning 100% cis, so if you want to talk about not, you know, like, oh, this one who's obviously a man, like, girl, come on. Take a look in a mirror, all right? Chill out. And it's like, I don't care whether she's clocky. It's not about me. It's pointing out her insecurity. That's what I'm doing. I don't care whether she's clocky or not. I think that clocky women are beautiful. Happen to really like the girls who are clocky. Yeah, we could name any number of trans women who are way more feminine. Like, try hard or Chaya to not be clocky. I don't know what to tell you. Like, calm the fuck down. Oh, boy. I guess I don't have, like, a lot else to add at this point in the stream. It's like, it's just pretty stupid. Yeah, no, seriously, thank you. If you're gonna be a TERF, please at least have funny arguments. Since you can't make any good logical ones. At least be funny. And maybe stop bullying teenagers, because I'm gonna fucking really lose my cool. Yeah, androgynous women are cool. She's just not cool for being an insecure TERF. She's clocky on TikTok. If you don't find Samantha Lux at least a little bit hot, you probably don't like women. If she hadn't put the picture of the trans girl first, I wouldn't have been able to pick out which of the candidates was trans in the second pick. I wonder if she felt the same and felt the need to prime her audience. That could definitely be the case, because yeah, she, at least as far as I understand it, she posted this one first, and then sometime later posted this one. So it's like, looking at this one, I don't know, like, I was primed, so I don't know if I would have been able to point out which one is trans. Like, I just know which one is, so. Yeah, give me those strong features and broad shoulders. Making the lesbians go wild. Low-key kind of want JK / Chaya / someone to ride on Jeff Bezos' rocket so we can start talking about astroturfing. Wait, Samantha Lux dyed her hair blonde? Listen, this is the most important news of the day. Stop the presses. Samantha Lux dyed her hair? Because she's normally brunette, right? Like, this is normally what she looks like. Did she go blonde? Or is this the red? Is the red new? I kind of like the red. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of like it. Is this the new hair? Are they all just wigs? Is that a lace front? Oops, that just, okay. It kind of does look like a lace front. Wigs. Wigs. Wiggy, wiggy, wiggy. Rihanna vibes. Yeah, I mean, truly. I love this profile picture. Like, this is her picture for a really long time. It's a good picture. Being clocky is underrated. I feel like I pass less as I'm working out more, but I feel hotter than ever. Truly. I know at least one of them is a wig, because she said so in stream. Fair. Oh yeah, this is a blonde looking. This is Samantha Lux wearing it. That's definitely a wig. That's 100% a wig. Yeah, I feel like all of her features just wash out with a blonde that's that. Or maybe it's like her makeup that she decided to wear that day just kind of didn't work. But I feel like the brown hair really frames her features quite well, and it provides a good contrast for the skin color that she has. I want a pretty wig. Why are wigs not considered cool for men? It's just called something else. What are they called? When it's not a toupee, that's not the right thing. Oh yeah, I watched a video recently on Facebook or whatever where the guy was calling it a system. Like, my hair system. And he, like, glued this thing to his head. That one is from her stream showing her as a kid. Yeah, I mean, I figured that that's what it was. Hair system. I want a tabby-style wig. Like, just a big white wig, or like a gray wig with curly hair. I was called ma'am and she by 2 separate guests at work while in what I assumed was boy mode. High fives. Codpiece? Codpiece. No, a codpiece is a totally different thing, okay? Bring back the codpiece. Let's do it. This one. This is the one. Bring it back. I actually see a shocking number of men in codpieces. Like, way more than your average person on account of going to the Renaissance Festival. And, like, I know so many people who wear tights, like, straight-up tights with codpieces. I have a friend who I recognized by their thighs because my friend, like, usually wears, like, tights in their normal outfit, and then they did an outfit that, like, their entire top part of their body was covered by, like, a fish suit. And I was like, I think I recognize that person's legs. Very weird moment. If I go bald, I will glue a live possum to my head. True. Wouldn't that be wonderful? Then you have a little possum friend. You just always have a little friend. Forever. Forever and ever and ever. I'm still taking donos. I'm gonna do so many push-ups if we get to the dono goal. Like, so many push-ups. Men will do anything to claim female things as theirs, but only in name. Being face blind but still recognizing people by their thighs. True. Tudor codpieces are the absolute shit. They used to be made of velvet, silk, and gold thread with jeweled studs. Aha. Was the upper part of that fish costume a cod piece? That's good stuff. It's pretty sexy. Normalize bald women. I do. I think, I used to follow, I'm just haven't seen her post in a long time, but I followed this lady Morgan on Twitter who shaved her head all the time. Yes. Okay, now I don't need Samantha Lux or Chaya Raichik. Or this. Or this. Okay, I'm getting rid of some of my tabs because I don't need all these tabs. Which means that we only really have one story left tonight. And that story is Megyn Kelly interviews Trump and decides that he is not transphobic enough. So we can look at that here in a bit. I think of Okoye from Black Panther. Yes, she looked really good without hair. High five uncomfortable. Got a new gaming keyboard and the RGB and clicky is so satisfying. Ooh woo. feel like baldness isn't necessarily a thing. It's more about the head shape. The head shape. A sexy head shape. Bringing it all back to phrenology. Bring back interesting men's fashion in general. Bring back bright colors, different silhouettes, luxurious materials, and high heels. I feel like, you know, everybody can do high heels because it makes your ass look just phenomenal. Okay, I'm gonna drink more water. Okay, I'm gonna get my Megyn Kelly link ready. Oh, there's my Megyn Kelly link, and it's ready. Real women's heads have curves. Oh shit, Marcella, no, I hadn't heard of this. There is a nationwide anti-LGBTQ+ protest called 1 Million March for Children going on tomorrow here in Canada. The tagline is, hands off our kids. Yes, all goth men know that platforms and slightly heeled boots are the way to go. Makes the legs and ass look so good. I've recently got some heels that I need to start wearing more so that I can, like, practice wearing heels. You know what I mean? Hook. Men will literally share the same 3 suits among their entire gender and be like, yeah, this is good. They just, you know, t-shirts, cargo shorts. Or, like, polo cargo shorts. That's, like, basically the look, right? Yeah, Canada. Hands off our kids. Oh my god, I cannot type. There are going to be counter-protests happening. Countdown. 9 hours, 5 minutes, and 0 seconds. Hands off our kids. Wednesday, November 20th, 2023. Show your solidarity and join us. Stop the indoctrination of our children. Interesting. Click the map to find a demonstration site in your city. Wow, wow, wow. What an interactive map. Wow. Our mission is to unite people for a noble cause. Dude, the, like, random capital letters. To safeguard children from gender ideology teachings, sexual indoctrination, exposure to explicit sexual content, ensuring that parental consent remains paramount. Yeah, so normally what I say is that y'all in Canada are just, like, 5 years behind the US in terms of you being fascists. You're trying to catch up to us lightning speed. Like, you're just right there with us, except that, like, the laws aren't quite passing yet. You know? 1 million March, wouldn't that be like 90% of Canada's population? Well, they always overinflate their numbers. That's the thing. If you've ever heard of 1 Million Moms, which is a United States-based organization, but yeah, there never were that many people who were members. Thank you so much, Noah, for a $10 dono. Here, I got paid. What do I even, or why do I even go buy some weird stuff or something? I don't care. Thank you. Yes, for sure. I appreciate that. I will go buy some weird stuff. I'm really good at that. Oh man, I didn't wear them for stream. I should go get them. I got some new earrings. Oh yeah, I should go get them because I wanted to show them off to you and I just forgot about it. The remaining 10% better be working the shops in Ottawa or everyone will starve. Excuse me. Okay, I'm gonna run and get my new very neat earrings so that I can wear them for the rest of the stream, which is probably gonna be about an hour left. But don't go anywhere, okay? And hit the like button while I'm gone. Hit the like button if you want to know what the earrings look like. Okay, I got him, okay? Okay, nobody went anywhere, right? Okay. So, you know, if you want me to buy weird stuff, I'm working on it. I'm buying weird stuff. Hold on. It's kind of hard to see because here, let me turn the light down so that I can get closer to the camera without it blowing out the exposure. Oh, look at that. Yes. I got bones. And there's another one. This is the other half. I got bones. Yes. They are lab rat jawbones that are, they're earrings. So I can wear them. And then I have bones, which is very good for me. Don't E me, I'll E you back. No, it's me. E. I think the counter protests will be bigger. We'll see. I'm going. Yeah, so, you know, if you do go to the counter protest, I will say, you know, wear a mask. You're in Canada, you've got wildfires there. Good for you, but bad for the poor little rats. Yeah, I mean, they were lab rat, so they are real rat jaw. It's true. So I have a bunch of furs, so I'm glad that I now have some bones to balance things out. The counter protest I was at recently was way bigger than the Let Women Speak crowd. It was good. Is the Let Women Speak crowd, is that like is that a transphobic thing? As per usual, when they try to claim that it's like, oh, let women speak. Posey Parker thing. Okay. The counter protests are almost always bigger. Yeah. Oh, I'm realizing that I don't know where the hole is. Because I don't really take my earrings out very often. So I might have to bust out my mirror in order to do this. Or can I do it over here? Can I show it? Can I do it on Streamlabs? Look at my bones. Nope, it's even harder looking at the camera than it would be if I wasn't looking at the camera. Oh, is that it? Did I do it? I'm so talented. Okay, I got it in a little bit. No, that's not it. Okay, I need a mirror. I am not good enough to do this without assistance. So I'm just gonna... Okay, there we go. Now I got one. Oh my god. Okay. Now it's on. Okay, now I got bones. Okay. Yeah, I wore these this weekend, and I had a lot of fun with it. Single brain cell chat. Don't know where the hole is. Yeah, Yeah, I'm realizing I don't know where the hole is. That's what she said. True. I am not good enough to do this without assistance. Yeah. I want TERFs to not let me speak so that I can feel patriarchally affirmed in my femininity. I will take affirmation from if I have to twist it. Yeah. I'll take affirmation wherever I can get it, including being told that I'm not allowed to speak because women need to get back in the kitchen or whatever. Okay, I found the hole. Okay, there we go. Yay. Now I got bones. Okay. Aren't they so fun? Let Women Speak sounds like it could be a disaster. Like, imagine that's the title of the speech, and then 5 hours of a man explaining why women should speak. Truly, you know, maybe, like, women sit down and shut up award. Found the hole. Yes, that feel when you find the hole. I found the hole. That's the most exciting. It's a little bit dry, though, I will say. The hole was a little bit dry when I got there. Yes, we're doing good. And we are almost halfway to the stream goal of making me do a shit ton of push-ups. We only have an hour left. Can we make $60 in 1 hour? Let's find out. Lube the hole. Truly. You have to lube your ear holes. At the most recent one, didn't Posey Parker literally cut off one of the random turf women to bring Graham Linehan to the mic? I didn't hear about that. Is that true, though? Oh, no. That's too funny if that's true. Because Graham Linehan is even more divorced than Elon Musk, which is hard. It's hard to be more divorced than Elon Musk. But he's out there doing it. Just Vaseline everywhere, something will get in. I wonder if we can get 100 likes today. Probably not, but we'll see. Can we do it? Can you do it? Yeah, Vaseline just everywhere. Something will eventually get in. Something will eventually slip in. Oh, gosh. So yeah, Canada, you guys are trying your hardest to do some transphobia. It's not happening in the US too, is it? Hands off our kids. Is this just a Canada thing? Yeah, it just said on the website something about like, oh yeah, this is uniting all people in North America, but they are not anywhere outside of Canada. Yeah, the US is not a good example. Stop following our example, Canada. Get the hell out of here. I'm not giving you 10 more to exercise. I won't do a push-up for less than 60. No worries. I like doing push-ups. I'm gonna do them on camera for your benefit. That's what the stream goal is about. It's about you getting something in return, which is to watch me do push-ups. Eh? Yeah, Canada, get your shit together. You're like my parents' house. I need to know that I can go there if things fall apart where I'm currently at. Who's Graham? Graham Linehan used to write for various TV shows, and then he threw away his entire career as a mediocre comedy writer to be a full-time transphobe. And his wife divorced him and took the kids because of his unending transphobia. Canada dry. True. So yeah, I think the hands off our kids is specifically a Canada thing. Oh my word, I'm so thirsty. Lux, I need something other than push-ups from you. Motivation to do stretches in the morning. Is this the kind of thing that I need to post as free posts on the Patreon? If you don't want to follow me on Blue Sky, follow me on Patreon, where I post free shit sometimes, and that can include, like... That could include, you know, motivation to do stretches. Transphobia is the end of all careers, just like invading Afghanistan is the end of all empires. Booty squats? Yeah, I just don't have my camera set up for booty squats. As much as I would love to oblige. Yeah, Graham was an excellent comedy writer for a time. Really? We thought he was excellent? Yeah, Graham Linehan gave us credit. The trans people made Graham's wife leave him. And in which case, yeah, I would say I feel proud for having a hand in his suffering. He did reply to me on Twitter a grand total of 1 time, but he did not quote tweet me, and I did not reply back to him, so I kind of just faded off the radar immediately afterwards, I think. My dog is my motivation to do stretches. I can't see him stretch without going, ooh, big stretch. True. Well, let's do a Megyn Kelly interviews Donald Trump segment, huh? Which will be a little bit of a video, and I can rest my voice some, since we're going to watch a little bit of a video. Whoa, I come back and you have earrings. Yes, I have bones. They're jawbones of rats. Oh, yeah, are they starting up student loans again? Like you're supposed to start paying your student loans back? What if you all just refused to do that? Wouldn't that be fun? Hmm. Could be fun. I don't know. But yeah, no, you can, if you don't donate to me because your student loans are going to kick back on, I completely understand. Listen. Oh gosh. Okay. If it's spelled Megyn, I'm pretty sure it's pronounced Megyn. Megyn Kelly. That sounds like you're trying to say something about, like, my gynecologist or something. What if the lab rat's bones you got were called Pinky and the Brain? But it's only one rat. One rat, 2 bones. It's like the left and the right jawbone. So, I don't know, dude. They're pretty cute, though. And it allows me to continue being a weird, kooky, kind of death-obsessed weirdo. Okay, Megyn Kelly. Megyn Kelly. All right? So since Trump is back on the campaign trail, you know, being interviewed by such lofty Twitter posters as Tucker Carlson, he's now had another interview with someone with slightly more notoriety, Megyn Kelly. So Megyn Kelly interviewed Donald Trump, and the video that we're going to watch is actually like about 5 minutes long. And then we're going to watch her talking about it afterwards, because she has something to say afterwards about the interview. Yar, Megyn told me to avoid yeast infections. Exactly. Truly. I would rather end humanity than make another student loan payment. I completely understand. So, yeah, they talked about Caitlyn Jenner, trans rights, and puberty blockers in this. This is a clip. I don't know if this is the entire interview, but we're going to watch this 5-minute video. And let's do it.
I would.
Nope.
Can a man become a woman?
Hold on. Yeah, this is the part that the article wanted us to watch, but I want to watch it from the beginning.
In 2016, you said that Caitlyn Jenner, who is trans, could use the women's restroom at Trump Tower. You allowed biological men to compete in the Miss Universe pageant at the time, which you owned. A lot has changed since 2016. Have you?
Yeah, well, I have, but look, I knew Caitlyn Jenner. This is very much like the same subject we just talked about. This was brand new.
Yeah.
Okay, this is a brand new subject also. There's a lot of...
So Trump had never thought about the existence of trans people until Caitlyn Jenner transitioned, basically.
Exploded.
A lot of it hadn't exploded. I mean, nobody talked about it, really. And so they're saying, what do you think? And people say, yes, use, no use. But I'm the one that wouldn't allow it in the military. That was a big move. I wouldn't allow it in the military.
Yeah, so he's boosting himself. He's like, yeah, well, if you think that I'm not transphobic enough, I'm the one who said that you can't be trans in the military, so... I don't think this is the beginning of the interview. I think this is just the beginning of this segment of the interview. But they had been talking previously. This is just the pertinent clip. This is the clip that she wanted to clip chimp this part of the interview. That's why she talks about it later as like, oh, he didn't go hard enough. Is like she was hoping for a good, like a clip moment here. And it just didn't quite happen the way that she wanted it to. Sorry, Megyn Kelly, your show on Sirius XM is not doing so well.
And I went to generals. I say, General, let me ask you, do you like it? The real generals, not the ones you see on television, not the Millies of the world. I went to the real generals. I said, what do you think? And they did not like it. They did not.
He's saying that he went and talked to some of the rough and tumble generals in the military, and they said that they don't like trans participation in the military, I guess.
Not like it. They didn't. Nobody wanted to go public with it. It's a very hard subject. I ended it in the military. Now, since this character got in, he's allowed it in the military. You know,
talking about Biden, since this character got in, he's letting them all be in the military again. Uh-oh.
Part of the problem is you'd have to take massive amounts of drugs. In the military, you're not allowed to take drugs. And you have to take massive amounts of drugs. So right there, it should...
So yeah, Trump's claim, despite the fact that he doesn't know what the hell he's talking about, is that you cannot be in the military if you take a lot of medications. Like, I don't know if the question is because that costs the military money, or if he's just saying, like, this makes you... Like, this makes you, like, less able medically? Like, I don't know. Do they... Like, I think that a daily pill is probably not a huge deal. If you're a trans woman and you're on estrogen in the military, it's like the same thing as being on birth control in the military, right? Are you not allowed to be... Yeah, pull up the military Viagra numbers. You're on all these crazy medications. I'm sorry. Listen, Viagra can make you go blind if you have low blood pressure already. That's dangerous. You know, that's making you less... It's making you less effective as a military member.
Not be allowed. But I took a lot of heat. No matter what you do there, you're going to take heat. You understand.
Yeah.
But yeah,
how do you
Caitlyn Jenner, was she allowed?
Should biological men who say that they're trans be
I think that moment is really, really, really funny because Trump was ready to just keep talking, and Megyn was like, no, I'm not going to let you just keep talking. I'm trying to direct you toward a specific subject. And then the fact that Trump, like, quieted himself is also very funny. Like, this does not make you look very strong man, Trump. Look at how high his shoulders are. And it's like, it's not just that his shoulders are up high, it's that his neck is down. Like, his neck is down and his shoulders are, he's like this. Just look at him. He looks so uncomfortable in his seat. Like he's trying to become a turtle. He's trying to like suck his head into his torso or something. I'm surprised he's not misgendering her. He does dead name her, but he's consistently like, yeah, Caitlyn, Caitlyn, Caitlyn. I bet he's wearing shoulder pads. Well, yeah, probably, but still his shoulders are still way the hell up here. You can see like his little neck is all jutted forward. Vulture, true. No Riz.
Allowed in women's restrooms, in women's locker rooms, women's prisons, women's spaces.
Yeah, my stance on that is really pretty much what I had in the military. I think it has to be, huh?
No, so they shouldn't.
Yeah, that's my stance. I mean, that's been my stance. I may have allowed Caitlyn.
She couldn't get the sound bite. You could see she was fishing. She was mining for a sound bite there, and it just wouldn't happen.
Caitlyn's Caitlyn, right? I knew Caitlyn as Bruce. I knew Bruce, and you know, Bruce was a great athlete and a very handsome person, very handsome guy. And all of a sudden, Bruce is Caitlyn. I said, what's this all about? This was a brand new subject too, just like we talk about, you know, the pandemic was a subject that nobody knew anything about. Mm-hmm. Nobody knew anything about it. It was all...
So I guess in a way, he's sort of indirectly blaming Caitlyn Jenner for the transgender trend. Like nobody talked about trans people, and like no one was aware of them at all until Caitlyn Jenner came out, and Trump became aware of it. Oh, the military and drugs. No possible joke there. No. There's no jokes there.
Early, you make a decision, and you make the decision very strongly.
No, I get it. Look, I myself have changed a lot on this issue since 2016. I'm just trying to figure out whether you have, in fact, reversed on it.
I don't think I've changed. I think I've just, you know, at the beginning, it was such a small subject. Nobody really thought about it. But then with time, you change.
Is he saying, like, Caitlyn as an individual woman, I'm okay with her using the women's bathroom because she's an exception to this idea generally that people should be segregated in this way? Like, I don't really know. Trump is so hard to follow. I think he's revealing how literally self-centered he is. He actually thinks things don't exist until they enter his orbit. No. Yeah, I do think that he genuinely just doesn't think that trans people were a thing until Caitlyn Jenner came out. Like, he's literally, I had never thought about it. But I mean, that's like fairly representative of most Americans. Most Americans don't think about some issue until they're personally affected by it, you know? Like, you might not be fully clued into how bad racism is until you start dating a person of color. Or like, you don't really know very much about trans life or trans people, and then your kid tells you that they're trans, you know? We've seen that story numerous times. The popular transgender, like, parents to interview, like parents of trans kids, the ones who get the interviews are ones who started out conservative and who say, we weren't on board with this. We didn't, you know, want to have to make this change in our family. We struggled with this. It was hard. Because I guess that's like, you know, you want to show that even conservatives can change. But when we did the committee meeting, the Judiciary Committee meeting, committee hearing or whatever last month, you know, it was a conservative Christian woman from Texas talking about her transgender son. And I remember there was also an episode of Jon Stewart's new show where he was talking about trans people and trans issues, and like the parents that they invited were largely parents who were like, yeah, we didn't know anything about this beforehand. Like, you don't really need to think about it until it enters your personal orbit, you know, which is part of why visibility is so important. That way you can't reasonably say, I don't know any trans people, or I've never heard of any trans people. That's part of why, you know, we do care about representation, so that not only do young queer people have the like wherewithal to discover themselves, but also so that normies can relate to our narratives. And like, yeah, so Trump just hadn't really thought of the trans issue, and then Caitlyn came out as Caitlyn, and like, because he didn't really know much about it and didn't have any preconceived biases, he was like, yeah, you can use the women's bathroom, of course, like, why wouldn't you? Like, you have big titties now, so yeah, sure. And then it only has now become ideologically beneficial to him, like beneficial to his polling numbers. I don't actually know. I haven't actually seen, do his poll numbers go up and down when he talks about trans people? It kind of just seems like the Repubs who are going to support him are going to support him regardless. Like, if he doesn't come out hard enough against trans people, I don't think he's going to lose anybody. And if he comes out hard against trans people, I don't think he's going to win anybody that he didn't already have. So it's like, there's kind of no reason for him to make a strong statement on the subject. Caitlyn Jenner was beaming her trans agenda lasers into Trump. True. With the way that he talks, he literally does not think trans people existed before Caitlyn came out. Yeah, like, nobody was talking about it. Nobody was talking about it. And now it's this big thing. I really hope that that isn't the case, Mama, because then he's going to be more likely to start perpetuating the rapid onset gender dysphoria thing. And that's, like, you know, mostly harmful to, like, young trans boys for the most part, like young trans men. So anyway.
Probably took the hardest line was on the military.
Yeah, that's true. What about the children? That's become an issue now. Should children be provided with access to puberty blockers and cross-sex hormones when they're minors?
Yeah, I'm so against it. First of all,
I'm so against it.
Many of them, I heard like 62%, when they grow up, when they're older, they're saying, who did this to me? Why did you do this to me? Second of all,
my source is, I made it the fuck up. Yeah, 62%. I have never heard that specific figure before. 62% of these people who transition as minors grow up and say, who did this to me? Who done it? Who done it? We got to open up the liability. We got to open up the statute of limitations on these liabilities. Yeah, truly incredible. Just pulled it right out the ass.
well, the parents have to make the decision. You know, they're trying to give it to school board.
Wait.
62%. When they grow up, when they're older, they're saying, who did this to me? Why did you do this to me? Second of all, the parents have to make the decision. You know, they're trying to give it to school boards and schools and things to make a decision. It's unbelievable to think, you know, I talk about mutilation.
Yeah, he said, oh, they're trying to give it to school boards to make the decision. Like, it's got to be up to the parents. What he's saying is, you know, parents should be allowed to dictate whether their kids are called by a nickname at school, essentially. And it's weird, though, because it's just hard because they double play this. They double play this. They say, oh, parents should have the right to, like, dictate whether their kids can go by a different name, or, like, if the kid starts going by a different name at school, then the parents need to be notified. And at the same time, they'll play this idea that, like, parents don't have the right to seek transition-related care for their children. So they play it both ways. They play parents' rights, and then they say, oh, parents don't have the right. The government has the right to tell people what they're allowed to do. You know, in the same way that we tell you you're not allowed to give your kid alcohol, you also can't give your kid puberty blockers and cross-sex hormones. I think he's making shit up in real time. Of course he does. Yeah. I hate how we treat kids in society like parents own them and their autonomy. Right. You know, I personally am just not a huge fan of that. You know, I bitch constantly. I did a whole rant one time about how if you don't invite people under 18 to your wedding ceremony, I think that's garbage and you suck. Like, I'll make the argument. that a wedding ceremony is a joining of families. And your wedding reception, if you want it to be, you know, alcohol and a weed bar and bumping and grinding on the dance floor, sure. But I think that it's you know, children need to be given more consideration in a number of different ways in society is the point that I'm making, including and especially not being considered the possessions of their parents. Like, does a Jehovah's Witness have the right to deny a blood transfusion to their child? No, we've decided no. That's not like the hospital will take over the care in that instance. You're like, there's certain types of things that you're not allowed to deny them because of your religious beliefs. But if you just decline to take them to the hospital, like, they're still going to die and then you'll be charged later. Lots of, yeah, classic Lux moment, right? Yeah, should I go on another rant about children at weddings? Anyway.
Sometimes in my speeches, we will stop the mutilation of children. And then I'll stop and I'll say to the people in the audience, I'll say, can you imagine that I'm talking about we're going to stop mutilation of children? Yeah. But that's what it is. It's the mutilation of children. And we will stop the mutilation.
So yeah, he is going to run with the mutilation rhetoric. Like, how many times do I need to point out circumcision? Oh my God.
Of children. 10 years ago, you wouldn't even, nobody would ever think of it. I am telling people, because I guess I'm a politician, whether I like it or not. As a politician, as somebody that represents a lot of people, I'm telling people that we're going to stop the mutilation of children. Who would have to say a thing like that? Yeah. You'd think it would be automatic.
You know, it's crazy that you're having to say a thing like that about a thing that's not happening. Just, oh my God, we gotta laugh or I'm gonna cry.
So would you be in favor of a ban then on puberty blockers and cross-sex hormones for minors?
I think yes. Yep. I would.
So taking the choice away from parents.
Can a man become a woman?
In my opinion.
This was the one that she hoped for a really nice pull quote from, and it just is not going to happen for her. I feel so bad for Kelly. So bad for you, Megyn.
You have a man, you have a woman. I think part of it is birth. Can the man give birth? No. Although they'll come up with some answer to that also someday. I heard just the other day they have a way that now the man can give birth. No, I would say.
Yeah, actually, so that's funny. Trump saw the same article that we did about how they did a uterus transplant in the UK, where like a sister donated her uterus to her sister who had an underdeveloped uterus, like an intersex condition of some kind, and they can't deliver vaginally, but they do deliver through cesarean. So yeah, so that's funny. Trump is like, I think that the definition of man versus woman is partly predicated on whether you can give birth. But even that might change because suddenly now men can give birth is his frame of reference. So that's actually very funny. That's actually deeply, deeply funny. What's up, She Who Knows No Name? I see you've changed your username. Welcome back to the website. In better news, there will be a deaf contestant on Great British Bake Off. That sounds fun. How are they gonna? They're gonna have to signal them the time. They're gonna have their own little timer. Trump likes the sound of his own voice too much to give a short answer like Megyn wanted. It's not just that he's incapable of giving a short answer. He's not media trained. Like, that's another thing. With people who are media trained, they'll rephrase the question back so that they can get the whole sound bite. And he's not doing that. Like, not at all. And he's also not directly responding to the questions in a way that enables for a quick soundbite of her speaking and then him answering. Sometimes I wonder if Trump is even potty trained. True.
I'll continue my stance on that.
September marks.
Okay, that was the end of it, I guess.
They have a way that now the man can give birth. No, I would say I'll continue my stance on that.
So he's basically saying, I'm going to maintain that I think that men and women should be separate and stuff, because I said that previously. Like, a lot of just relying on statements he's previously made. And so then Megyn Kelly went on later. She's talking to Glenn Beck. Her takeaway from the interview with Trump, I really wish he did better on that. 98% of the Republican Party is united on this issue. So let's watch
What was your takeaway? Because he never really answered it, but he did shake his head no towards the beginning. What's your takeaway from that?
Well, I thought it was weak sauce. I really
She said it was weak sauce. No, I didn't know she was gonna say that. Oh no. Oh my god, Megyn Kelly is like in her 60s or 50s. How old is she? She just said weak sauce. Oh my god. I'm gonna lose it. I'm losing the plot.
really wish he did better on that. I like Ron DeSantis' answer, I'm going to be honest.
She says, I liked Ron DeSantis' answer.
No.
Right.
No.
Right.
No. Obviously no. And it's not determined based on who can give birth. It's determined by God, and it's pretty obvious just as soon as you come out of the womb. That's the way it's always been. That's the way it continues to be, notwithstanding this weird agenda by some activists in this
For sure,
crazy
Megyn.
trans agenda pushing cult.
For sure. Yeah. We're a cult. Keep it in mind, kids. We're a cult. Pay your dues, okay? Do people still say weak sauce? Apparently Megyn Kelly does. You know, she's pulling lingo from 10 years ago? Yeah, trans cult. I would not be surprised if she talks like that after spending all day on blue check Twitter. I mean, honestly, I bet that blue check Twitter still says stuff like weak sauce. Oh, man.
So Trump clearly knows that. I don't know if he's trying to appease some group of trans voters that he thinks is going to make the difference with him. Even
Good
when I had
questions.
Don Jr. on my show, he was kind of dancing around this issue. I think that they think they're somehow going to do better with Democrats if they don't hit this straight on, even though, I mean...
No, it's because a lot of the politicians who are running on a hardcore, anti-trans platform are just not doing well in the polls. They're just deeply not doing well. So whoever is managing Trump's campaign has told them to chill out a little bit on it and to, give soft answers, because he doesn't actually care. So he's just doing whatever his PR person is telling him to do, which he's probably ignoring that person too most of the time.
98% of the Republican Party is united on this issue. It is not a winner.
98% of the Republican Party leadership is united on this issue of being anti-trans as their wedge platform issue. It's definitely not the everyday Republican voters. That's the thing, is you guys are pushing this in an attempt to create some kind of cohesion, a cohesive movement, something for the Republican Party to rally behind, but it's just not working well with the base, and they're trying to force it. They're trying to push it, and it's not gonna go super well. But it's interesting, the Republican, the career politician Republicans have decided that this is the issue and that he is somehow less worthy as a candidate because he won't jump on the transphobia train. So it's yeah, I wonder if some of the party is going to be alienated by that. And I don't mean the base. I mean, the supporters. Are the people who interview folks like Trump, are they going to consistently push him on this? Are they going to say, oh, well, you haven't come down hard on this? Of course, they're ignoring the fact that his first campaign video, 4-minute campaign video, and we talked about it at some point previously on this stream, and I'm pretty sure I posted a video about it as well, that his entire 4-minute first campaign video from last year was just every anti-trans talking point, just one after the other, all in a row. I was like, this is actually incredible. It's the perfect video for me to respond to because it condenses every single anti-trans talking point into one video, and I just have to pause every 15 seconds to go over whatever misinformation they've just done. Didn't one poll show that 2% of people listed trans stuff as an important issue for them, and overall there was apathy to vague support for LGBT stuff? Yeah, I mean, most people don't care about this issue. This is a manufactured outrage, and it always has been. Conyer called it, if we can give birth, then they would eventually switch to spiritual reasons. Exactly, yeah. They claim to be basing it off of some kind of biology or science, and again, they're just weaponizing the fact that other people care about that to bolster their view. But they will just they'll retreat to oh, well, God made it that way. And, oh, you can tell as soon as someone is born. Like, yeah, erasing the, like, 2% of intersex Americans and just generally being stupid pieces of shit. I mean, we're not surprised. It was a methodical plan for a genocide. Grifter or no, Trump will try to kill us. I don't disagree with you. Yeah, like, he's targeting us in the same way that everybody else is. If he's presented with a bill that says, you know, trans people can't have children anymore, like take away all trans people's children, they'll do it. Like, I don't, like, that is the level of rhetoric that they're at, is like, oh, these people are, like, abusing children by being trans and giving birth to their own children. So it's not far off that it would be, if the Republicans gain a majority and if Trump or some other Republican is in office, then yeah, they're going to do all kinds of sweeping damage to our rights that's going to take years and years and years to recover from. And a lot of people are going to be harmed by it. I'm almost hopeful that they keep this line because the anti-trans agenda was so disastrous for Republicans in the midterms. But it does mean that trans people will continue to be persecuted in the meantime. Yeah, the increased visibility, you know, we have, like, hate crimes happening against us, you know, trans people being attacked in public, in broad daylight, allies being shot dead over their posting of a trans flag outside their own business. Like, talk about free speech. Don't even have the free speech to hang a flag. So yeah, it's just not, it's not going to be good enough for them. Trump is just not going to go hard enough for them, I don't think. Even when I had Don Jr. on my show, he was kind of dancing around this issue. Yeah, they know as a team, they know that this isn't the way to go. That they will probably alienate some parts of the base who know someone who's trans. True. Yeah, true, mama. Mm-hmm. Apathy is also kind of an issue. It allows the 2% of fash to do more damage. Yeah, I will not say that apathy toward trans issues is a good thing. It's, like, in some ways better than active, like, aggression, but at the same time, it's going to allow a lot of people to be permissive about the violence toward us. And that's not necessarily what we want. We want there to be more people who know a trans person or who look up to a trans person. Oh, you know that YouTuber you follow who does really great makeup? Well, she's been trans this whole time and you had no idea. Whoa. Like, it's just gonna have to continue trending that way and, like, changing people's minds on the individual basis, which people always feel so doom and gloom about. People always feel so fatalistic. Oh, we're never going to be able to change anybody's minds. But that's not the case. You see it all the time with conservatives who are like, I didn't even really support gay marriage, and then my kid came out as trans, and I had to completely fucking reevaluate my worldview, and now I support gay marriage and, like, trans people getting to use whatever bathrooms they want because they know someone personally affected by it. You just have to think about it and have a little bit of empathy, and then you'll be good. Right, yeah, even Dick Cheney, the Lich Cheney, changed his stance on gay marriage because his daughter was a lesbian, or is a lesbian. So we'll see how this is going to continue to go. I don't have a whole lot else to add on this one because, yeah, it's all speculation at this point. That's all we can do is speculate and watch the poll numbers, and even those are not going to necessarily show us anything. I just don't think that trying to sway individual randos is the best strategy. Right now, transphobes need to be defeated, not convinced. Well, so I will hold the line and say, you know, each person requires a different approach, and that, like, there is a difference between active transphobia versus, like, transphobia that is the result of being lied to. Because it's a scary thing. Like, the idea that children are being harmed, people are deeply motivated by that. I'm deeply motivated by the idea that children are being harmed. I just have a different gauge of harm, and I actually have researched and understand the issue. So if all you've heard is they're giving kids cancer drugs in order to like harm their bone development and like permanently delay their brain development and stuff like that. Like if that's what you're hearing and you don't have the wherewithal and you don't have the scientific knowledge and the like critical thinking skills, you know, public schools have been underfunded to the point where like I genuinely don't think that people have the ability to look at something and go, I'm going to discern whether this is true or not, and I'm going to look at more than one source and compare the information. You know, people are not being equipped to do that. So I don't think that I wasn't trying to advocate for swaying individual randos anyway, because I was kind of making more the argument that like if you know someone who's trans and you feel empathy toward them, then your mind is going to change. But I will say, like, I don't think that we should view everyone who parrots transphobic views. I don't think that we necessarily need to treat every single one of them like they are personally willing to help round us up into camps. I do think there are plenty of people who are like that. And I just think that, you know, it's good to be somewhat discerning. And, you know, if I see something transphobic on my Facebook, I might tell the person, hey, I'm going to unfriend you over this. I'm, you know, no hard feelings or anything. Like, I'm just not going to see this on my Facebook. And then, like, when they message me to talk about it, I'll be like, yeah, so what you're saying is you're concerned about trans people in bathrooms, and, like, I can't use a public restroom anymore because of concerns like that. So you got what you wanted. So now you know personally a person who cannot use public restrooms without the threat of having the police called, no matter even if I'm using the one that I'm supposed to or not. In fact, if I'm using the one that I'm supposed to, I'm more likely to get in trouble about it. Like, literally depending on the day, because even people who never took testosterone are being questioned in public spaces like that. You know, it just takes like having the willingness to just be like, yeah, you didn't understand this thing that you were saying, and here's what the material impact of that is on a person's life who you know personally. Bluntly, empathy is less common than we might think. Sure, yeah, but I think it's worth, you know, using that personal relationship as a way to be persuasive, basically. Yeah, plenty of transphobes need to be fought, but people like my dad and cousin have only just heard the right-wing talking points on trans people. They know enough to not fully imbibe those talking points, but don't care enough to look up the info to debunk those points. So they do end up kind of blandly echoing anti-trans talking points, since that's all they've heard. Right. Most people are not going to look into it. So you have to, like, counter the misinformation that they've heard or appeal to their sense of human decency, basically. So, yeah, I guess I'll just say that, like, there is a difference in approach that we should have. And ultimately, it's really hard for trans people ourselves to advocate for ourselves in this way. So this is another area where, like, yeah, we need allies who are willing to say, hey, I, as a cis person, I'm going to challenge this cis supremacist idea that transition is the absolute last resort and you should try all kinds of weird conversion therapy shit first. Yeah, appeal to autonomy, I think, is good. A good approach. I'm just fine informing people. At this point, 20 years into the internet being in the hands of most people, I just unfriend transphobes who happen to pop into my sphere. Yeah, I don't think that we should be required to do any of that either, to be clear. I personally feel like it's something that I need to do, rather than just quietly unfriending. It depends on the person, for sure. I won't tell every single person that I'm unfriending them or that I'm unfollowing them. But yeah, I mean, I feel like at least some amount of effort on my part. Human decency cannot be counted on. I'm not saying that it can be counted on either. I'm just saying it's worth a try. I'm not saying it's going to reliably work out or anything. I agree with all that. But also, am I being a dick if I say that I think people should try being less stupid? Transphobia literally requires stupidity. Yeah, I know. This is one of the big gaps between me and other people, is that I actually don't want to be stupid. Some people seem perfectly content with being stupid. Oh, I'm just done informing people. Okay, I hear you, Anansi. I hear you. I do think, yeah, people should have a desire to not be stupid, but like, how do you enforce that or create incentives for that? Like, no, don't be stupid. I will hit you on the nose with the newspaper if you're being stupid. Stop it. No more stupid. No. Knock it off. Part of being stupid is you are too stupid to realize how stupid you are. I guess, yeah, the feeling like you are right. What is it? There's a specific phenomenon. What is it called? When it's like you think that you know a lot when you don't know anything, and it's like the more you learn about a subject, the more likely you are to go, I don't fucking know. The Dunning-Kruger effect. Okay, that's what I thought it was. Like the less informed you are, the more confident you are that you are correct. So, you know, we're fighting some Dunning-Kruger on this. Like, oh, it's my common sense. Men can't become women. Common sense. Like, oh, X chromosomes equals female. XY chromosomes equals male. Simple. That's a bit of a myth, though. Yeah, I'm just invoking, like, a concept. I don't know if it's actually demonstrated to be true, but, like, for the sake of the conversation. Ooh, water's delicious. My mom always said, don't use common sense to navigate uncommon problems. That is easily one of the best things a parent could say to a kid. That's so good. Don't use common sense to navigate uncommon problems. Holy shit, that's so good. I'm gonna steal that. Corpse Candy, tell your mom that she has just changed the direction of the discourse permanently. Because I don't actually care if you say that to her, by the way, I'm joking. But no, like, because when people on the internet say, like, oh, men can't become women, that's just common sense. Like, yeah, I'm gonna quote that until I die. Don't use common sense to solve uncommon problems. It's also a matter of how people allocate their energy. One of the things that makes people conservative these days is prioritizing their mental health when things challenge them or their way of thinking. That's how we got so much pandemic denial / vaccine denial with COVID. It was easier mentally for them to deny the pandemic than to change the way that they had planned their lives. I mean, listen, yeah, it's really hard to grapple with the fact that your life is going to permanently be different forever now. But, like, that's the world we live in. And, like, the willingness to acknowledge, yeah, that you're, you know, it's kind of the same thing where people, you know, initially become disabled and they keep trying to push themselves super hard and only to, like, repeatedly smash their head against the wall of the limitations that they now possess. Like, even people, like, I don't know, I have a chronic illness and I even push myself past what I should probably do because I'm trying to reach the goal of, like, what an able-bodied version of me could do, and that's, like, just not feasible. And yes, always the COVID brain damage to consider. But yeah, Quantum Cactus, I think the even more astute observation to make about how people are allocating their energy is that becoming informed is like an allocation of energy, you know? Like the person who I talked to on Facebook who posted something transphobic, like, they're not even watching the news, you know? If you live in a state where, like, trans rights are under attack directly and you've not even heard about it, it's like, yeah, it's because, you know, having a job takes time, being a parent takes a lot of time, dealing with your family takes time, owing money and dealing with your debts takes time and effort. And so, yeah, people are not allocating their energy towards being aware of an issue that they are not even aware of. And, like, same thing with COVID. Like, the information access to COVID is abysmal at this point. I'm learning about it through Twitter primarily, and that's been the case the entire time. It's like I'm getting more accurate information from Twitter than I am from anywhere, any other source. And so, yeah, if the news has deliberately started covering up COVID, if, when we're talking about seasonal illnesses, if people are continuing to put an emphasis on washing your hands and they say flu-like symptoms and stuff and they avoid talking about COVID, when concerts get canceled because the concert, like the band has COVID, but they can't say they have COVID because then the insurance won't pay for the concert like venue or whatever, that's all like creating additional barriers to people being able to make informed decisions. It takes extra work. I have to go search out wastewater levels because the community level of COVID is not being published anywhere publicly on a regular basis. Testing is down. So I can't even look up positive cases and like case numbers. You can look at hospitalizations, but that's not necessarily going to tell you what like the community levels are at. It can just tell you like what the severe community level is at. So yeah, it to some extent, what is the expectation that people should be informing themselves? I personally have extremely little patience for like the fact that people just have given up on COVID at this point. I just don't even bother to talk to people about it most of the time because why the fuck would I try to because I'm going to have to dispense to you like 3 years worth of knowledge that I've gotten from actually paying the fuck attention on a platform that is now severely weakened as an organization platform. At this point, I've just run out of empathy for these people. I've tried every way I can think of to treat them like they have functional brains, and it just bounces right off of them. I have to file them under irredeemable intelligence voids for my own sanity. Yeah, I don't disagree with you necessarily on certain people, at least. It's just like, I will try to inform people, and then, like, I just don't... Like, I know that there's only so much I can do personally. I've made it my job to post on the internet about it, so I'm not gonna like necessarily try to convince every single individual person that I come into contact with. Like, honestly, I don't even really correct people about pronouns in public. If people assume that I'm like either a guy or a girl happens more often right this second because of my giant 32F titties, but like and I'm not on T right now, obviously that helps. But, like, yeah, I don't even bother to correct people on pronouns in person because I made this my job, and I don't want to do this when I'm trying to have fun at the Renaissance Festival or whatever, Like, I'm just not interested in having the conversation every waking moment of my life. So I do my best. How hard is it to not be stupid about COVID? I mean, listen, I know plenty of people who have had a mild infection who are like, oh, I tested positive, but for me, all it was like I felt the need to clear my throat a lot. And like that was the only real symptom I had. They'll catch mild COVID a couple times and they're not being informed about the fact that repeat infections have a higher case of like hospitalizations. Repeat infections have a higher case of long COVID or whatever. You got to go to the Ren Fair wearing a codpiece. Truly, that's the thing. I wear baggy pants and it doesn't work. I corrected someone at work today. It didn't turn out very good. Yeah. Like, I have this, like, party that I go to every year, and one time I tried to correct someone on my pronouns, and they just, like, brushed me off, and I was like, okay, I'm just never gonna have that conversation at this party again. That sounds great. And I am, like, definitely most of the time the most queer person at this event, so I'm like, okay, I will just live my life off the internet in a way that is basically like, I am trans, but I'm not going to call it attention to it if people don't clock it on their own, I'd say my COVID was mild. It's not hard to realize the world is bigger than me. Yeah, but the thing is, if I say this is extremely dangerous and people's personal experience is that everybody they know has had fairly mild COVID and no one is really talking about their long-term complications, or at least they're not talking about it in the context of it being COVID. People will be like, oh, it's so weird. I can hardly go up the stairs anymore. I don't know what's happening. Oh, I'm getting old. And people will attribute it to other things. Or they'll be like, oh, I have a chronic cough now, but I guess I just developed allergies. Like, did you just suddenly develop allergies in the last 24 months? I guess it happens to people sometimes. COVID messed up my taste buds. Yeah, the thing is that COVID didn't mess up your taste buds. it messed up your brain. You have brain damage. Like, if you can't taste stuff the same. And that's another thing about the failure in communication is like, oh, brain fog. Oh, you know, you might have some mild anosmia. Like, nope, that's brain damage, bro. Yeah, unfortunately for some people, the only thing that matters is them and their circle. Or, like, the evidence of their eyes. Like, oh, I don't believe all these... these COVID death numbers are artificially inflated because if someone gets in a car crash and, like, dies because their lungs were punctured, but they also tested positive for COVID, oh, then they put COVID on the death certificate as part of the cause of death. Oh, these numbers are overinflated. Not realizing that it's actually the opposite way around, where a bunch of people are dying of cardiovascular complications in the absence of any like COVID mention, despite the fact that it probably was because of blood clots and shit like that. That's extremely common. COVID made me mute. I wonder every day if I'll have to use sign language forever. Because of out of the blue. Yeah, like I've heard of people's singing voices being like permanently damaged by COVID. Like they don't have the breath control anymore. I wish I got some hardcore brain damage. I'm sick of being aware. I know. Did I tell you guys recently I was talking to my partner about being a thembo, and my partner informed me that I have too much malice in my heart to be a thembo, and I was like, that's so true. Because the thing about being a himbo or whatever is that you have to be dumb, hot, and good-natured. And I was like, oh shit, I'm way too mean. I'm way too mean to be a thembo. No. Yeah, it does require some amount of mental energy to realize that other people's experience of the world is different than yours, and plenty of people would simply rather not spend the energy. Yeah. Them fatale. Yes, I guess I'm a them fatale instead of a thembo. Maleficent? A malevolent. Maleficent is not the word that you're looking for. You're looking for malevolent. A malevolent thembo. You're only mean to people who deserve it, though. Does that count? Oh, no. I was mute for almost a month. I'm fine now. Oh, that's good to hear, Anansi. You don't seem mean to me. Yeah, well, that's because I am aware of the optics of seeming like a huge asshole. I do my best to keep it to myself. I would like to be stupid and mean and pretty. What is that called? Cunt? Yeah, we're serving cunt, mama. That's you and me. We're just gonna serve cunt together. Whoop. Optics are stupid. I know that optics are stupid, and it's also just the fact of the matter is that, you know, Vosh can get away with being a huge asshole and using slurs and stuff, and gets more popular the more he demonstrates that posture of toxic masculinity. And like, I don't get to do that, and like women don't get to do that. Like lots of people, like black people, don't get to do that. We are all operating within the constraints of optics. Using Maleficent because I satisfy the dumb prerequisite of a thembo. True, uncomfortable, true. Maleficent. I guess her name does basically mean, like, ill intentions. Essentially. Stupid, mean, and pretty equals C-rank comic villain. True. Cunt brunch? True. Let's do cunt brunch. Cunt bunch, not brunch. Although both of those things would be good. Optics for everyone except John Cena. Did we ever determine if those pictures were real? When John Cena was wearing, like, a skirt? John Cena skirt? Is this real? Like, is this a true thing that happened, or is this just like a gnarly good Photoshop series? Like, that's a lot of pictures for him to not be actually wearing that. John Cena spotted rocking short skirt, thigh highs, and heels. Like, is this real? There's so many of these pictures for them to not be real. What happened? What was going on that day? I want to know. He's wearing makeup in this shot. What was he doing? C'est vrai? Okay. Welcome, Anjali. Haven't seen you in a bit. He's just serving. For a movie or something? What were you doing? On a movie set? Thick thighs save lives, sir. How tall is John Cena in 4-inch heels? Or are those like 3? I guess those are like 3-inch heels? Those are 3-inch heels. How tall is he? He's got to be so terrifying. Look at how big he is. Terrifying. Anyway. No, I think it was on a movie set or something. I just wasn't sure if it was real or not. And this is like, I think this is a different skirt. Or is that like cargo shorts? Kind of hard to tell. Anyway. Oh, Dank Catlord, what did you say? Uh-oh. Too much nonsense. Too much nonsense. It's not nonsense. It's perfectly normal Chinese. Well, I can't read that. That sign won't stop me because I can't read. Yeah, who would mock John Cena? He's a buff ex-Marine wrestler with money to bail himself out of jail. It's like he wouldn't even go to jail. Cargo shorts are the dysphoria hoodies of the legs. I mean, honestly, I can't even argue with that. What's up, Jade? Finally catching a little bit of stream? Well, you're only catching a little bit of stream because I'm going to be wrapping up before too terribly long. I do have some chicken brining right now. So I'm going to make some chicken tendies tonight of some kind. I have no specific plans aside from like, I bought some chicken at the store and it was on clearance because it needed to be sold quickly. And now I need to make it. It was pretty much the extent to which I thought of it. And I'm definitely not going to spend the time to make a curry. So I'll just like fry up some chicken and like, I don't know. Tendies. Yes, I have got good boy points because I got tendies. Delicioso. But probably not fried tendies. I just have like, they're literally tenderloins. I'll accept good boy points. Yeah, no, I'll accept good boy points. I'm good boy in every context in which you could say like good boy, except in the bedroom. And then it's good girl. Good Zembo points. Yeah. I'm just the dragon, okay? I'm just the dragon. The Simulate vegan nuggies are great, deep fried, indistinguishable from the real nuggets. I love to occasionally get vegan meats. I have in my freezer right now, I have some soy burger patties. I just need to actually make them at some point. Delicious. Okay, no, I am actually hungry though. That's the problem with talking about food at the end of stream, is that I realize that I need to eat more food than I have eaten today. And then stream has to end so that I can go make food. Rip in pieces. But we had our 3 hours tonight. We got partway to the dono goal. It seems like it's going to be a while before we... Oh yeah, are we going to raid Demon Mama? I guess I should raid Demon Mama, huh? Yeah, where is she? Reacting to Will the Revolution Be Streamed by Sisyphus. Okay. Oh, look at Mama's horns! Mama has cool horns. Or I guess it's her, they're attached to her, headphones. Oh yeah, I'm not a headphones streamer. I don't like to wear headphones all the time. Tell DM to get off your time slot. I know. She just streams whenever. That's the problem with her. Are you going on a hunger strike? Absolutely not. Oh my god, what do we call hoardy imps? I think they're himpies. We decided that they're himpies. If you're a hoardy and an imp... It's true. You're the himpies. Okay, so we are going to... Where is it? We're gonna stream Mama. We're gonna raid Mama. Raid Mama! Redirect. There we go. Okay. So if you go over to Mama, you have to say hi for me, okay? Tell her that the Horties have arrived. And as far as I can tell, I will be seeing you all on Thursday. That's the plan, all right? Until then, don't get caught.